Let's go. Mic check, mic check. Oh yeah, it's about to be lit. Let's go. Hold on, let me get this mic right. If you in here, drop a comment. It's your boy Coach Moolah. And this is the BoomCast Live. We about to turn up. Yeah. I'm about to get these links sent out. And then we gonna get into these topics. Let's go. If you in here, drop a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. This is Relocation Football League BoomCast. Yeah. We gonna turn up today. Out. As soon as I get these links sent out, we're gonna get right into it. Drop a comment if you in here. Let me know you here. Y'all know how we do. Yeah. Let's get the juices flowing. Every touchdown from last week. Pecan, hi. What's going on? Let's get them RFL juices flowing, man. Let's get it flowing. Every touchdown from week 5 before we get into these topics, before I send out the invites to my guests. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be a vibe today. Lamar Anderson in the building. Hey, y'all could drop it in the chat. I'm going to drop it in podcast. But Pecan, you could drop a share. Can you share it in the chat for me? Lamar, what's going on? Let's go. Yeah, them links is out. That was a big hit right there. Montgomery with a dot. For the touchdown. Oregon got a good secondary, so it was interesting to see that. How y'all felt about that one? Seeing Montgomery slice and dice against Oregon like that. But we know Montgomery can be shaky. Rico Roche, what's up? Drop a like, y'all, if y'all just tuned in, man. Drop a comment, let me know what's up. If you just tuned in, drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you ain't already. This is BoomCast Live, presented by the Relocation Football League. If you don't know about it, you got to get in tune. RelocationFootballLeague.com, Relocation Football League on Instagram, RFL Gunners on Instagram. It's your boy Coach Moolah at Keep Moolah on Instagram, man. Y'all got to get in tune. This is just to get the juices flowing, though. This is the intro right here. Every touchdown from last week of the college series. We're going to get a little bit more in depth on certain topics in the college series, but this is how we get the juices flowing here on the BoomCast, man. Let me know if y'all feeling that beat. We got Glenn Sharp in the building, Darius Hodge, Michael Smith Jr., Rico Roche, Pecan once again, Mr. Wizard himself. Yeah, boy. That's a dot right there by Austin Briley. But there goes the Snatchies. Woo! Haha. Let me know if y'all feeling the energy, or is it just me, man? If y'all ain't feeling the energy, I gotta turn it off. Yeah. Let me know if y'all feeling the energy, man. Do y'all feel it in the air? This beat talking to y'all, or is it only talking to me? Yes, sir. Oh, Jacob Garcia. That's my boy Jacob Garcia right there. Oh, we about to get lit, y'all. Don't worry. Don't go nowhere. We just chilling for a minute. Letting these week 5 highlights go through. Start visualizing what you want to talk about in the Chop It Up segment. Get your hot takes ready. We don't got no OJ, but we got the H2O, the spring water. You know how we do. Spring water only. Got a backup with me just in case. Zeke pulled in a pocket. He make that look easy. He make that look easy. That is a dot to Kalen Diaz right there. That is a dot. Oh, you gotta love it. Amari Bone takes it in. We used to seeing that from him. If you ain't in tune with the Relocation Football League, if you confused at what you watching, if you don't know what's going on, I am Coach Moolah of the Houston Gunners, and this is BoomCast Live. This is the Houston Gunners podcast. We call it the BoomCast, man. And basically what you're seeing on the screen right now is every touchdown from week 5 of the college series. Yeah, in the Relocation Football League, we have a college series. All of the players are user players. You know what I'm saying? These guys are submitted. They submit their attributes of how they want to play, and they play in the college series to get their chance at a shot of being a pro in the Relocation Football League. So all of these college athletes that you see playing football here can be drafted to the Relocation Football League. We have a great community, great Discord environment, great YouTube community, great Instagram and YouTube and all that. TikTok, wherever you want to meet us at, Twitter, get in tune with us, man. So like I said, once again, we just looking over some every touchdown from week 5. D'Angelo Gary running it in for UGA. This was a good game, man. UGA been handling business. Definitely been handling their business lately. Let's see if they could keep it up. Ronnie Shanahan in the building. My boy CC Akine. Michael Smith Jr. He's jacking the beat. My guy MSJ jacking the beat, man. He's jacking the beat. Free my guy Amari Bones, says Pecan. Kaishawn Williams with the Ayo. What's good, Kaishawn? That's another baller right there. One of USC's finest. Slot receiver, speed demon himself. Then let's say Birdman. Then we got the Birdman, Cam Johnson in here. Cam, what's up? We about to get into them topics though, y'all. Let me know if y'all want these, if the rest of these highlights to go through. Let me know. We can watch through this together and react to it together. If y'all want to see the rest of these go through, but if y'all want to get into the show, we can do that as well. I got some special guests pulling up, man. Definitely got some special guests for you guys. And y'all know how I do it. I'm gonna keep those guys here with me to chop it up about whatever topics I'm already gonna be speaking about. You know, various college series topics. Who y'all got? Chop it up. We're gonna do all that. So I'm about to get these invites out to those guys real quick before we talk about these topics. And yeah, let's rock out. Relocation Football League fans and community. Let's rock out. If you are in the live chat and you're new and you don't know what's going on, don't be shy to talk. All of these guys are players. Well, most of these guys are players. You know, they friendly guys. They pretty friendly cats. You know, they pretty cool cats. So If you want to get into it, definitely don't be shy. Drop a comment. The community will catch you up to speed with everything. That's why we love it here, man. We love it in the RFL. But let's start talking some college series, man. I'm gonna let these highlights ride out for a minute while I get these Discord links sent, man. I mean, not Discord links, but I get the StreamYard link set. I'm opening up the Discord right now for the guys that's waiting for the links as well. Kobe Bamba, the baby boomer himself, Kobe Boom Bamba. That's my strong safety right there. Strong safety, free safety, sub linebacker. Had an outstanding rookie season last year. Go catch up on my playlist. I got the playlist on the channel if you want to watch some Houston Gunners games, man. But Kobe Bamba is in the building. Houston Gunners fans, Kobe Bamba is here. That kid is electric. Expect a lot from him this season. There will not be a sophomore slump. But let's get it rolling, man. I'm waiting for one of the guys to get in here. Yarrow Wimbush in the building. Yarrow Wimbush, halfback for Ohio State. He transferred from Penn State, but the boy is a dog. I'm telling you. The boy got game to him, man. The boy definitely got game. The boy Yarrow Wimbush, versatile, elusive back. Definitely a problem. How we gonna start it off? How we gonna start this off? Let me see how we gonna do this. Hey. I got the guys loaded in right now, y'all. We gonna get into this show. That's enough of them highlights, enough of the intro. Got y'all right now. Appreciate you, Glenn, man. Glenn Sharp himself, tight end USC. The kid is a problem. Definitely appreciate you, man. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for showing the love. KMJ is in the building. Another OSU guy. KMJ is a superstar, y'all. This kid he ain't going no further than top 5 in the draft this year. KMJ in the building. Keegan Myers Jr., Deshaun Evans, Josh Dunaway. Oh, man, it's getting packed in here. We got to get into these topics. It's getting packed in here. It is getting packed in here. But we going to kill the highlights. We going to kill a background noise. So we're about to get into it. So, hold on. I got one more thing. Let me cut off this fan for y'all real quick. I know y'all probably can't even hear it, but I can. All right, now we here 14 viewers strong. Fellas, let me know if y'all can hear any annoying noises in the back with the microphone. If it's any air coming in, just let me know. But we got Pecan in the building with us today. Pecan, what's good? How are you feeling today, my man?
I'm feeling good. Can y'all hear me all right? This is the first time I'm using this online.
They should be able to hear you because I hear you crispy clear.
Awesome.
So they should be able to hear you. But let us know if you can hear Pecan in the chat. We got 15 viewers strong. Pecan. It looked like everything good. So we're gonna get into first what I got for you is these games. We're gonna get into the games that happened last night. So to start off, we got North Carolina, Florida State. How you felt about these teams to start off? How do you feel about North Carolina and Florida State going into this game?
Well, UNC needed a bounce back win for sure after that bad loss to the Gamecocks, which still blows my mind that it's named after a fighting chicken. But, they needed a win to go into next week's game, but they still had issues. Like, I know it's 29-0, and you would think that most teams would be like, yeah, 29-0, we shut them out. But that was the ugliest shutout win I think I ever watched, because there was at times where UNC's offense didn't look all that great. And And of course, Will Stern got to be Will Stern. 5 picks, one of
Yeah.
the ugliest games that I think I ever watched. But
Yeah.
credit to UNC, man, they got that win. But now they got Miami next week. But props to them for bouncing back and getting that win. But they still need to show that they can dink and dunk against Miami because you are not getting the home run ball on that team. So
Yeah, I completely agree with your assessment on that, man. Like, this is a very ugly game. Like
it
I was
was.
watching and I was just like, yo, like, I expected a little. Like, it sounds weird to say that I expected more from UNC. I know Q was gonna hate me for this, but I expected more from UNC in this situation because it's like you're going against okay Florida State, and I don't want to say they struggle because it's 29-0, but it just was ugly, like Jet Blade with 2 interceptions. I think he's been having I still think he's been having a bounce back year, but then ugly performances like this just heighten the concerns and red flags for a guy like him.
And I agree with that because, like, the thing is, if you look at where Miles was last year, Miles had at least an O line to protect him. Jet Blade doesn't have that. And
Absolutely.
they had a running game last year with Bo. They don't have that this year. Now, Bo did go off, I see, but it's an FSU team where their only guy is Trey Johnson. Yeah, that's their only guy. So oh wait, not Bo. Elijah Swan. I got
Yeah,
the
Elijah Swan. Yeah, Bone. Yeah, I know.
but Elijah Swan, he finally got going. But this is against FSU. This is what we expect from you. But this was just an ugly win for them. Yes, they shut them out, but I don't know. They could have scored way more points in this game. There was way too many points that were left on the table
Completely,
for UNC. But Jet
completely agree.
Blade, I'm almost to the point where I'm like, I'm starting to think out of the CS3 guys, him and Briley, I think would be better staying off, which we'll get on to Austin Briley soon. But I think it's almost to the point where I think Jet Blade should stay another year because I think his stock has really dropped
Drop.
this year.
Yeah, I think Jet Blade is definitely an interesting story. I don't want to get too caught up on just Jet Blade, but we're gonna talk about like everybody on this team right now. But I definitely would agree that Jet Blade. I feel like if as a user he's ready to give himself a clean 3 to 5 years to become a potential starter, then I think he can go into the draft and not have a problem with being a late round pick. Maybe even mid round. However, like you said, I do think that he can improve his stock with maybe one more year because we are seeing an improvement in his game from last year. But I think one more year can solidify that. One more year being a little more comfortable with his team. And just showing us, what he can do at a pro level or what he has to offer, I think would help tremendously.
They need O line bad because that O line is not good and they need it badly for next year.
Absolutely, absolutely, I completely agree. Hold on, give me 1 second,
All
Pecan. If I
good,
if
man.
I do break up or if I do disconnect, just hold it down. I'll be back in 1 second. Hello,
Free Omari Bone.
am I good? Am I good?
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
okay,
good.
so we good, then we can keep it rolling. But yeah, so yeah, as far as Jet Blade goes, man, he's definitely an interesting story. He might just need to stay, like you said. And another thing that's interesting because I know we're talking about quarterbacks most of the time. We're talking about Stan. I think Elijah Swan has a potential that he needs to tap in to by staying another year. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, there may be other
Yeah.
backs that's not performing that's performing better than Elijah Swan, but I don't necessarily think that they're better than him. I just think that this kid has had it rough with just the team situation with the team was running. And I just think that he, I think maybe a change of scenery or maybe change of scheme if UNC has something else with NCAA, with NCAA coming out, maybe it'll serve him better. But I just think he had just like the rough end of the stick with going to UNC and just how it played out with that line and everything. I think this
Yeah.
kid has so much more potential than we're able to see. And we're always talking about quarterback staying. And I just think that Elijah Swan has a lot to bring to the game. But I do think if he doesn't transfer and go to the college game, that he still should maybe consider staying and going into NCAA as a feature back because I'm pretty sure he has reloads. I'm pretty sure he has a decent overall, and if he stacks his reloads, puts a higher ceiling on those attribute caps, I think this kid could be something special. Maybe even a first round pick if he stays.
And
And
not only that, I mean, you got to think of with UNC going into the game next year, they are going to have that Mac Brown system. And we saw in real life, they have Sam Howell, who just went into the NFL draft. And once they get under Mac Brown's system and actual UNC with the plays and with the running back, I think Jetblade and Elijah Swan would do wonders of staying another year because right now I think out of the UNC guys, their stock has definitely dropped. Whereas guys like Bo and Rozier, who's new, but he's been showing he is a great wind out for this Tar Heels team. And maybe next year they could finally get a safety that doesn't have 70 speed or excel. But I think all of the receivers go. I think Peter Vaz, who was with the Maryland team in CS3, he came over to UNC.
Yeah, he's a dog too.
He is having a really good year. Yeah. So I think out of those guys, I think maybe Watt goes, but Vaz and Bo go. But Elijah, maybe Jay Watt, Jeffrey Rozier, and Jetblade stay, and they finally get that Mac Brown system.
Absolutely. I think that could be dangerous, to be honest.
Yes.
Like, think about it. If this UNC team is to stay and they are to build on what they have here going into NCAA, that means a lot of these guys can be in 90 overall. You know what I'm saying? Like on the same team because they done stacked reloads and now they have a chance to actually build that cohesion. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like build that well-oiled machine. So whether Swan stays or goes or whether he stays and actually stays at UNC, I just think that this team has an untapped potential because I see a lot in Jetblade, I see a lot in Swan, but I just think they just need a little more time to develop, and it's nothing wrong with that. Like I don't think that we should be trying to put all our stock into 1 year or into like the RFL is going anywhere. We're gonna be here for season 20, season 30. So you guys could just
and now you have 4 years. Like you have 4 years of eligibility. And he had some flashes with the Fighting Irish, but everyone went. So it's like, well, I might as well leave too if there's no one going to be here. And he went to UNC when Miles went to the Horned Frogs. So, but obviously this year the offense just isn't clicking. The offense isn't clicking. There is something missing when they get into the red zone. And I think the biggest things that you see from the Clemson and Notre Dame game is that they are dreadful when they get 20 yards between the red.
Yeah, absolutely.
They rely way too much on the home run, deep ball.
For sure.
And if they don't get it, then they have
nothing.
Offense.
Yeah, they have nothing. If they don't, absolutely. Like if they don't, if Bo is just not absolutely routing his guy on those short routes, if Rozier isn't just routing his guy, or like Peter Vaz, like if they're not just routing these guys up when they're trying to string together like a drive, it's ugly, it's stale. They
don't have an offense.
Yeah, it's missing that chemistry, and I think that they can build that, like you said, in a better system in the college football game, and just staying together and keying in on those attributes, getting them reloads up, getting these packages and making sure that their ceilings are a little higher by the time they get on NCAA. I think that UNC has potential to just be a very dangerous team, or maybe even a shocker for some guys.
Yeah.
And I
will say for Jetblade, because let's not forget in the RFL, in this draft, this is not a quarterback needy draft at all. There's maybe 4 or 5 guys that we all know that are going for next year, and then you have the 2 under 6 feet guys that have to go because they won't get drafted when that game comes out. So this is the time for them to stay and to build up their stock to get better.
Absolutely. Definitely agree with you there. And now, before we get into the next game too, I'm sorry, guys, I don't mean to hang up on this game, but this is why I love talking to, just guys in the RFL community, because the topics just come up and the different things that I see within these storylines of these players and the situation. It just, I just love looking at guys' perspectives, especially guys that I know is league first, and actually take their time watching these games and seeing what these players have to offer. So before we get into the next game, I just want to ask you about the other side of the ball. Will Stern is terrible, as we all know. Guys been waiting
ESJ,
for him to do
get
this.
that team a quarterback. ESJ, do whatever it is that you got to do to find someone and be like, hey, I need you to go play quarterback for them, because it is not. I don't think ESJ or anyone that at least wants to watch FSU with another year of Will Stern.
Yeah, absolutely. We
And
definitely don't.
because Omari Bone deserves so much better. And they
Yes,
had
he
the
does.
other guy that I forget. I think his name is Trey. Not Trey. Let me look. Also, if this couldn't tell you how Ohio State I
Facts.
am.
Ohio State shirt, Ohio State case, Ohio State flag in the back. This
And
dude is
then
committed.
let's see, Florida State. They
But
got Vince Waynes, who's one of the better generic guys, and he can't get anything going because he has
because yeah,
Will
I would
Will
agree.
Stern.
I would agree because he's definitely something to see. That's why I wanted to get on this side of the ball and ask you how you felt about these guys, because I feel like a lot of these guys have potential as well, but they just kind of have troubles at the quarterback position, which we would like to see a user in that position. We know what Omari Bone could bring to the table. I wonder if I think he goes as a generic just because we know the success he has. But it would be fun to even watch him on the NCAA next
I
year
agree.
with the user quarterback. You know what I'm saying? In the
Yes.
actual Florida State system, Florida State system. So, that's just another interesting take that I thought there that I wanted to get into before we get to the next game. But I think we should be good to go on the next game. UNC got it done. I just want them to do it in a better way next time, especially against a team like this. I don't want to see Jet Blade struggle as much as he did.
Too many points were left off the board in this game for UNC. With how many turnovers that they had, this should have been a 49-7-0 game. They had way too many missed opportunities.
And shout out to my guy Q, man. Q in the chat, Taekwon Riggs, aka Q Pac, man, wide receiver for the Brooklyn Barons. Shout out to my guy, man. But I had to, man. These guys should have won by a lot more. Q, man, I'm not impressed. But I do think you guys have a nice core going into NCAA. I think if you can talk those guys into staying for the NCAA game, Jet Blade, Elijah Swan, Rozier, Slauson, and Vaz, I think if you can get those guys to stay, that you guys will have something special when it comes to the next game. These guys can get their attributes up. They can get their attribute caps raised. And I think that'd be a beautiful thing for UNC. But we're going to move on, man. And next up, we had Penn State and Michigan. This was a good one. This was a good one. I'm not going to lie.
This was a really good game to watch.
Yeah, this was a very fun game to watch, man. Shout out to
Dorian. He's because I know they don't have those like quirks, but he's almost like the improviser,
Yeah.
Build of his. He's
definitely,
very good.
Definitely. Between him, Uchiha, Tyon, Calvin Poole, and Ronnie Football, I've seen some good, different styles of the improvising quarterback this year, because all of those guys have similarities, but each are very different. Like Dorian, I feel like is just a little bit more of a runner than the other guys that I named, but it's effective for him because he's throwing guys open a lot of the time. I see that out of Uchiha and Ronnie Shanahan as well, but I just think those guys got it a little more in the pocket. But Dorian, is something about Dorian, like I think he does have maybe a paranoid sense of pressure. However, I think that it works for him in certain situations. You know what I'm saying? Like he's taken off I think a lot more than most of the quarterbacks in the series. And right now, between him and the running back, it's looking like that they're everything for Penn State. I don't know if it's only me, but I think the blend of Dorian and that running back is the only thing that's keeping Penn State in a lot of these games right now. And
it is. And I mean, and they have a tight end that's I think a 96 overall. I forget his name, but he also plays really well. But this team should not be 4-2. A lot of folks thought that Wisconsin was going to win in week 1, and they beat them. A lot of folks thought, well, Florida, they played the Baylor Bears, so they were probably going to get destroyed. They dominated Florida.
Yes,
Of
they did.
course, in the Auburn game, they were down 28-6, but Dorian almost had them come
Yes.
back and down 28-20,
And now
and one of his guys fumbled. Like, they are winning games that no
yeah.
one thought that they
Thought that they
should
would.
be
So
winning.
now I have a take for you, Pecan, because I would say like we're at midseason. We're directly at midseason, right? And seeing this Penn State team at 4-2 at midseason, right? But they could have actually been 5-1. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
had a bad loss. Like they had a really terrible loss. And
Last week was the only time that they didn't look like, and I don't mean to like shoot, to shut down anybody that we played, but last week was like the one time where it's like there's us and then there's them, and it's just it was too much for them.
Yeah, and I would agree. Like, there's definitely you guys are definitely on a different level than them as far as the whole series go.
But they're
this is a
2
very
games
open
away.
series. That's what I'm saying.
They're 2 games away from being.
And that's why I had that on the thumbnail, because I want to talk about that. Like where I'm gonna add it to the Chop It Up segment, but I was gonna talk about just the state of CS4. Like a team like Penn State, had they not slipped against a bad team and had that loss, they would be 5-1, and their only loss would be to Ohio State, and we would look at them totally different right now than what we're kind of perceiving them to be. And with that being said, what is that saying about the second half of this season? Because I haven't looked through their schedule, like all the way, but I actually want to look at the back end of the schedule. If somebody can send it to me in Discord, I'm gonna pull it up. Send it to me in Discord so I can pull it up so we can see what's up. Because I actually want to look into that, because if they did not lose, they would be five. If they didn't take that one bad loss, they would be 5-1 right now and have only lost to Ohio State. So that changes the dynamic of how we look at this team. You know what I'm saying? Like it really changes the whole landscape. And now I have to look. When I look at the rest of the middle of the pack teams, I can't just throw them above Penn State because they may have a better history as far as last year. Now I'm kind of looking like, hold on. Penn State has been in some pretty good games, and it beat some teams that I feel like we see potential in. So I think it's about time that, like we wake up and smell a coffee on Penn State. And these guys are going to, I think these guys have a chance at, doing some things, not a playoff run, but I definitely believe that they can shock some teams down the line. And I think that they will be, they're definitely going to be bowl eligible. But I think they have a chance to win a bowl game this year. So that'll be good for the freshman quarterback, gaining some confidence. I don't know if he's going to stay or go, but I think that'll definitely, give him some confidence going into making that decision to staying and going. If he can get some guys to transfer with him, we already see that this team can win games. So now Dorian can be a wide receiver, a wide receiver away, or a wide receiver or 2 away, a wide receiver in the defense, or a couple of defensive players away from, being a top 10 school, maybe not a top 4 school, but a top 10 school,
Yeah.
And it remains to be seen, but I definitely think that this Penn State team has some potential, man. They're definitely doing their thing. And, shout out to them.
I like what Dorian is doing, because this is a team that is doing what no one thought that they were going to do at all. I actually had them going 2-10 to start the year. So for them to do what they are doing, they're blowing all my expectations of them away. And credit to Dorian for doing what he did, because, they had a user cornerback last year, and they couldn't do anything.
They definitely couldn't. They had Yuki Dookie in, and we all know what that was about, man. Like, he couldn't do anything. I'm sorry, Yuki, man, but you were Dookie last year. But, shout out to Dorian, because he's definitely doing his thing. I'm a Penn State fan in real life, so it's actually refreshing to see, we have something shaking for us as far as RFL goes this year.
And he's their first good cornerback since James
Ramos, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so looking at their schedule, thank you, Pecan, for sending me that. But they have next week, they have LSU. I think that's a winnable game.
I think
it's very winnable. Very winnable. Then they have Washington, winnable game. Like, I'm not so sold on the Washington hype. They don't really play anybody. And I think this is another good test to see, what is Washington about, and Penn State.
And that week, Washington really from watching their games, their run defense is really bad. That is a game that they are going to have to get Brown going.
Brown and Chavis can run, so that's scary, going into that Washington game. If I'm Washington, definitely want to pay attention to that, man, and keep an eye on Dorian and Brown as well. So, like I said, that's 2 winnable games. LSU, Washington. We can see them at 6-2 after that. Iowa.
They should win that.
I think
they should win.
Things are unpredictable, any given game.
True.
Anybody can step up, but they should win that, and that would be 7-2 now. 7-2 bye week 10, going into week 11 against Maryland. That's another good team and another good test, much like the Washington game. However, I do think that it's a winnable game for Penn State.
And I know that everyone was kind of talking about that Maryland game with that team up north. I'm still not going to call them by their actual name. But everyone was saying that was almost like a preview of who is going to play us. Honestly, the Penn State and Maryland game in week 11 could honestly be who might go and play us. Now, I would agree. Because I don't want to get ahead of myself and just say that we're going to run the table because anything can happen.
But I think you guys
Penn State and Maryland could be a Big Ten qualifier game for the Big Ten title.
Absolutely. I would agree. That game has crazy implications on week 11. And I think that is going to be a great game week 11 when Penn State, we got Dorian, that running back, that tight end, going against Maryland with their 3-headed monster of those terrific freshmen that just came out of nowhere and built something,
that is going to be a fun game to watch.
Just something nice as far as that offense. Kareem Parker, Connor Jameson, Chip Taylor, like that's going to be a fun game to watch, and I definitely have that circle for week 11. But that's still a winnable game, in my opinion, for Penn State.
They can still win it because Maryland's defense is not that great
at all.
It's not that great.
Then coming into week 12, they got Stanford. Yes, Stanford just shot Oregon, who beat Penn State. However, that's still
a winnable game for them.
A winnable game, yeah. And they didn't beat Penn State. I'm sorry. Penn State actually beat them, right? Am I not mistaken?
Who?
Yeah. Penn State beat Oregon.
No, they haven't played yet.
Oh, they haven't played. Yeah,
Stanford beat Oregon.
Stanford beat Oregon.
My
bad. I'm blanking right here. But Stanford beat Oregon, and even though Stanford got that good win against Oregon, and we didn't expect it, I definitely think that Penn State should handle business in this one. Definitely think Penn State should handle them easily in this one. And then
that last game, they aren't going to win.
Yeah, now West Virginia week 13, that's when they're going to run into some trouble. But where they can make up some ground, where they can make up some ground with that is, I think that if they beat Maryland, beat Stanford, I think if they went out up until week 13, even with that loss,
that's
in the Big Ten championship.
9-3 record. That's a 9-3 record.
That's a 9-3 going to the Big Ten chip against Ohio State.
But I do see them realistically. I kind of have them losing one of those games. But still. They were 2-10, 3-9 last year. I don't know if someone has that record, but they were to go from a 2-10 or a 3-9 team, whichever one it was, to a potentially 8-4, 9-3 year. That's a success.
That's
for any school.
Absolutely, I completely agree, and I think I think they will lose a game before they get to West Virginia. I definitely think they'll lose a game before they get to West Virginia, but I can't say for certain that they lose 2 games before they get to West Virginia.
But one thing I want to see is how they play against an SEC team, because they lost to Auburn because Auburn is not that good.
Yeah, Auburn isn't good.
But
they're not. But think about Auburn's weakness and then think about where their strengths lie. They're not an air it out team, and Auburn's weakness is against top receivers that's going to test their secondary. They're not that type of team that's doing very well at testing team secondary. So that is something to watch. However, because Auburn, like I said, it will be an interesting matchup to see, but I don't think that Auburn can stop that rushing attack that Penn State can provide. And it will be
yeah. So that LSU game, and then LSU is next week. That's a winnable game.
That's a winnable game, but it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to. I'm just going to be real. It's not going to be easy because once again, SEC opponent, and you struggle with Auburn. who I feel like at this point has more weaknesses than LSU, if I'm being honest. So it's not going to be easy, but I still can't say for certain that they lose 2 games before West Virginia. But if it is 2 games that they lose, I think it'll be Maryland and LSU. If I had to pick 2 games that they're gonna lose before me and West Virginia, I have to say LSU and it would have to be LSU and Maryland. So
Now
we
the
should
other side of the ball.
now the other side of the ball, we got Austin Briley, 408 yards, 3 touchdowns and interception. I know you have to hate to lose a game like that. Austin Briley
Oh, I love it.
continues to fill up the stat sheet, man. This kid has a low awareness, and I think you can see it late in games. I think it's certain times when he's rattled and late in games and key situations where you can see the awareness affecting him. However, what he's doing in the bulk of the game, what he's doing in the pause, like the meat of the game, like the main parts of the game is amazing to see at like coming from him with that awareness, and even though he may not be a first round pick, he may not even be a first 3 round pick as a quarterback. This guy has a lot of potential, and I think guys have to stop hating and have to stop sleeping on his potential. You have to at some point you have to really give him some credit for balling the way he balls at that, what those
With
attributes.
that low level of awareness, he should be throwing like 20 picks a year, and he's not doing that. But I'll just get this out of the way really quick. It's always a good day whenever that team up north doesn't win.
I knew.
It's always a good day. But
I knew you was going there.
to not be the Buckeye that I am, this is a team that just feels like they get up there and they have their chances. And Darius said it. I mean, their D fails them badly. And even though they have Sherrard Foster, Roger Stenson, they have the actual Daxton Hill on that team and the number 2 pick in the NFL draft on that line, but yet they can't, get anything going, and they can't stop anyone. And there was a catch by Whiteman last night. That was a great catch on Sherrard Foster, which shocked me that was on Sherrard, because Sherrard is a pretty good safety, but that defense fails them a lot. And it always feels like that offense, I mean, I know we all mean the 10-0 lead, but it always feels like they either get something going and then they just stall out. And then in this game, like the Iowa game, they're not getting anything going, but now they finally start to get going. But in this game, it was too little, too late.
Yeah, absolutely.
Iowa, it's Iowa, and they let you guys score on a 4th and 22 on a 90-yarder, but that's Iowa.
For sure.
But this game felt too little, too late. You guys finally got going when Penn State pretty much had the game.
Nah, for sure. I completely agree. And like you said, Penn State kind of had the game too little, too late, but definitely had to shout out Austin Briley, man, for doing his thing. And I think J.C. Johnson is in that same Elijah Swan kind of category. I think he can go to an RFL team and develop, but I do think it would serve him a lot better if he went to the NCAA game, because this kid has potential. He's already built, pretty well. So if he can build on that,
great player.
Yeah, he's a great player. If he can build on his attributes and build on, his potential, I think that J.C. Johnson can definitely, do some things on the next level. I just don't think he should rush himself, and I don't think he should leave. Maybe Briley should be in that same position. Maybe Briley should take the same approach. And that thing we were saying about UNC as far as building that core, maybe they should just stay and build that core. Cam Reed is, I don't want to say he's having an off year, but he's not having a year that I seen from last year. And who knows? Maybe he should even stay. I'm not trying to speak for anyone, but I'm just giving my assessment on what I see. I think that they have something to build on, and the advantage that some of these guys would have going into NCAA is building on those attributes. If you have 590s, because these guys progress from CS3 to what will be CS5, then that's a good team. You got 590s, you're going to play prime time. The way NCAA works is most of the time it's top heavy. Like NCAA 14 was very top heavy. The top teams were actually competing. You could see the difference in simulation with the top teams and the lower teams. So if you stacking up these teams and it's similar to how it was in the past, as far as the consistency, you guys should be good. No matter what team you on, you guys should have primetime games because you guys, have high overall players, which means you're going to be a highly ranked team, as far as preseason rankings and stuff goes. And as long as you guys are handling your business, I think, once again, Michigan is another team that has a chance to do something special in the next game if they can get some of these guys to stay and not rush, into going into the RFL and being late round picks. So
I agree. Hold on, Mula. I think I'm frozen. I'm gonna fix my camera.
Okay.
Frozen.
Okay, you're good. You're good. Take all the time you need. You're good. So we Pecan should be coming back, but we're gonna get into the next thing. We're gonna move on. Shout out to the Baylor Block Party. Eric Ashley's in the building. Yeah, we're gonna get into the next topic though. I'm gonna wait for my guy Pecan. But who y'all got? Who do y'all got? Talk to me, chat. Talk to me until Pecan come back. I'll use you guys as a guest. Just let me know who y'all got. Of course, we already seen the first two games, but Iowa, UCLA, who y'all got? I'm gonna go off for y'all. I'm gonna look in the chat right now before I say who I got. I want to know who y'all got, and I'm gonna just go off of what y'all say, and make some conversation based off what y'all say until Pecan goes back. Comes back. So, who y'all got? Iowa versus UCLA. That's kind of a game. I'm not gonna lie. Not too much to watch there. Not too many players I'm circling, to watch or excited to watch in that game. I doubt I'm even watch that game with the I doubt that I'm gonna watch that game at 1:00 with UGA playing. I just think it's a lot more interesting games there though. But I see Darius Hodge says UCLA. Hodge says UCLA. Eric Ashley says Iowa. Appreciate you guys too for writing in the chat and being active in the chat. If you're new to this, if you don't know what's going on, once again, this is the Relocation Football League. I'm Coach Mula of the Houston Gunners, and this is BoomCast Live. All of these guys that you see commenting are actual players in the college series. Some of them are pros in the Relocation Football League series. Check us out, man. Get in tune with us. But Glenn Sharp, UCLA, once again. Darius says, I think Diggs goes off. Diggs is the quarterback for UCLA. I definitely think that Diggs can put his imprint on his game. He has numbers. Diggs actually has numbers. He actually been putting up numbers even though this team hasn't been performing. So shout out to Diggs, man. Definitely got to give him his credit there because he's been putting up numbers. He's been filling up the stat sheet. I think if he stays and maybe goes to a bigger school for NCAA, I think that this kid has potential. I think he has potential to even be a top 5 quarterback in next year's class if he stays and maybe goes to a better school because he's been putting up numbers. So he's showing you that there's potential there. And Euro Wimbush, UCLA, Rico Roche, UCLA, Keegan Myers Jr. says UCLA, and Howard Presley. Wow, that's my dad, guys. Shout out to my dad, man. Peace, Dad. Appreciate you for stopping by. He says UCLA. Steve says Iowa. Shout out to Steve. Then my guy, Miles McCain Train, says, what's good? Shout out to my guy, Miles, man. I got to go with UCLA. It was a clean sweep in the chat. Most of the guys saying that they got UCLA, and I'm just be honest, I had UCLA as well. Like I said, Diggs is definitely showing me something. He's showing me that he has potential. Young quarterback, user submitted. I think that if he goes to the college game, man, his ceiling is going to go through the roof. I think the sky's the limit for him. And, yeah, I got UCLA. I won't be able to get Pecan in on this game because we're going to keep it flowing. But what's good, y'all? Who y'all got? South Carolina versus Texas A&M. SEC matchup, number 23, South Carolina versus the unranked Texas A&M. Who do y'all got? Smitty's in the building, giving a shout out to my pops. Yeah, man, I'm surprised he stopped by. Definitely, man, trying to get him in tune with the league, get him in tune with everything that's going on. But who y'all got? South Carolina versus A&M SEC showdown. South Carolina for Wiley. Alvin Mack says South Carolina for Wiley. Keegan Meyer Jr. says South Carolina. My boy Al Rett. They got faith in you, Al Rett. Shout out to the generic quarterback, Al Rett, man. They got faith in the boy Al Rett. You know, he shocked us last year at Georgia when I was at Georgia. Then we got Eric Ashley, South Carolina. Glenn Sharp, South Carolina. Daniel Samario says USC Trojans. Nah, man, USC. We talk about University of South Carolina, but Hodge says, "Give me SC. That run game will put up numbers on Texas A&M." No, I definitely have to agree. I don't think Texas A&M has enough for South Carolina, man. South Carolina is one of those teams that they're not very consistent, but when they're on, and it's nothing about Texas A&M that really gives me the vibes that they can stick with them in this game. I think maybe South Carolina about 10 to 14 in this one. I think even though it'll be a 10 to 14, it'll definitely be in convincing fashion. So I definitely got SC on that. Pecan, you said send the link. I think you should be able to use the same link. Try clicking the same link, but I'll send it anyway. Um, so South Carolina. Let me see if Pecan could get in here and he could give us his take on this game real quick. I sent the link out, Pecan. But South Carolina, so South Carolina in the clean sweep. He'll get in on the next game. South Carolina in the clean sweep. Who y'all got? UGA, number 9 ranked UGA versus number 22 Auburn. Another SEC matchup. Who y'all got in this one? You know these actual conference games are tough, man. You never could call it. However, I gotta go with UGA by a landslide in this one. UGA attacks deep. I think Honcho has 3 touchdowns for 200 yards in this one. I think Zeke throws for 400 and about 50 yards with about 5 touchdowns. Yeah, I just see this one being a blowout. Auburn's secondary is terrible, and UGA's receiving core is just nasty. I don't think that it's any way Auburn pulls this off. I don't think it's any way. I know that conference games be a little tough. I know that conference games could be, up in the air, but I think UGA wins in convincing fashion. I think UGA probably wins in blowout fashion, probably 50 something to like 7 or 50 something to like 14. I think it's gonna be one of those games. Like I said, Zeke, I think Zeke could throw for like 400, maybe 4 touchdowns. He might throw an interception, but I don't think it would really matter in the game. I just think that he's gonna take risks to try to bury this team, and I think that even if he makes mistakes, he's still able to bury this team. And yeah, that's my take there. It's nothing about Auburn and Keller that impresses me or have me thinking that they're even going to give UGA a battle. So Red Dogs in the sweep. My guy Q said UGA. My guy Keegan Myers Jr. says UGA. My guy Alvin Mack himself says Red Dogs. Hodge, UGA. Glenn, CC and them dogs gonna put in work. MSJ, yeah, you going wild, but at least it's possible. Loud, but yeah, we gonna see what's going on, man. Definitely got UGA in this one. Next game, this 1 p.m. slot has a lot of sleepy games, man. This is another sleepy game. Well, is it a sleepy game or you guys? I don't know if this is a sleepy game because you know what? Stanford definitely shocked us last week. And then even though ASU is, not the most exciting school to watch, I actually enjoy watching ASU play since last year. So I think this is going to be a pretty good game. I'm definitely still going to have my eye on the Georgia game more so, but I'm going to be flipping and between Georgia and Stanford because Stanford has been another team that, just every time I count them out, they give me another reason to watch them. Grayson LeCavalier is doing his thing over there. The quarterback plays when he wants to. So, it'd be interesting to see if he can lock in and get it done in this game. But, who knows? Who knows? Eric actually got Stanford, man. He says give him Stanford. So, obviously some people, believe in Stanford. So Pecan, man, but I'm gonna talk to the chat too. But who you got in this, man? Stanford versus ASU. Talk to me.
Stanford and ASU. I'm back. Okay, really quick. I messed up and try to go full screen because I wanted to see the stats, and for some reason it got stuck. So I got to figure out what's wrong with that. ASU and Stanford, just from what I'm seeing the last few weeks, and I know I kind of got some heat for saying this the other day, but I think Stanford might be a better team than what folks think. I think they're an actual good team, and
Good
I
team.
think
Okay.
I think that they can beat ASU. Now, I'm not saying that they can get to the Pac-12 title game, but I think that they can win some games, and this is a very winnable game because Ryan LeCavalier, that guy is literally CMC. That's who
Absolutely.
he
Yeah. Absolutely.
that's who he reminds me of, and I think they're going to do well against this
Absolutely.
ASU team. But I
My
can
only
see.
concern is the quarterback. Montgomery is very inconsistent, and that's the only thing that scares me. And at times he does look good, but I just don't think you could trust him in the moment. And being that LeCavalier isn't the quarterback and somebody has to give him the ball is my concern with that team. And then when you look at the ASU side with Rashad Boston, with Rashad Hell, and then Jefferson, who's shown that he can make some plays with his arm. I just don't know. I'm not super sure. I think that ASU just has more firepower offensively. Not to take nothing from Grayson, because I think maybe Grayson might be the best player in this game. He may be the best player in this game, but I don't think that with the surrounding pieces that he has, he's gonna be able to show that in this one. And maybe he is, but I I'm just gonna be honest. I think I may have to go ASU. I think I may have to go ASU. I
And I
think
think that's pretty fair because, like, we were expecting a lot from this ASU team, and they could have 2 wins if they didn't lose
lose, yeah,
to
for sure.
Oregon because they were up big on them in the fourth quarter, and I thought that they were going to win that game, but they didn't. And Ronnie Football showed up, But this ASU team, we thought after the Baylor game that they got a chance, but something happened. I think Ronnie Football may have broken them. Who knows? But
Tiny football may have broken them. Maybe, man, maybe, but it's looking like a battle in the chat, and this is why I love you guys. This is why I love you guys is like you got like that you guys actually pay attention to some of these teams that's not as popular as the other teams, and I love that we got a lot of league first guys that really pay attention because games like this like are games that I love. Like I love the little sneaky games like this, and where they got a lot of little player storylines that I think can affect the game in a tremendous way. And I think if Jefferson has a big night, I think that this is a blowout for ASU. I think ASU wins in convincing fashion if Jefferson has a good night. And why? Because I think Rashad Boston is complements. Well, I think Jefferson usually has to compliment what Rashad Boston does because Rashad Boston is more consistent. But I think when both of them are clicking, it is very dangerous to go against that ASU team. And I think that a team like Stanford gives them a good opportunity for both of them to be clicking because Stanford isn't, the craziest on defense or on offense. And then if LeCavalier though and Montgomery could get it going, this can be a back and forth game. But I just see too many things in the favor of ASU, in my opinion. So I just have to go with them. And a lot of guys in the chat, are going back and forth. ASU might shock the world again. ASU could win. ASU has one of the worst defenses in the
I
college
agree
series.
that
I
I don't
agree.
think it would be such a shock that if ASU won, it's just one team is kind of trending in the wrong way and the other team is trending up. So
Yeah.
I can still see why folks will take ASU though, which I don't blame anyone. This is
Yeah.
really a toss-up game. This is just how I feel,
For
and
sure. It's definitely a toss-up. Definitely a
maybe I'm
toss-up.
just like I'm just seeing Stanford just might be a better team
Absolutely.
this year.
Absolutely. And big shout out to Coach Dunn, man, coach of the Sacramento Miners. He has a dope podcast called Miners Live. Make sure you guys go check him out. He got some dope stuff on there, man. He got coaches, polls, and just his takes, man, are fun to watch. His takes, his energy, and what he brings to the Relocation Football League is just amazing. It's fun to watch. He has a good team. Has some good users, and Anthony Fry, who does a good job of pushing his brand and his product. And I think they got something good going over there. So definitely go check out Miners Live when you get a chance. And shout out to Coach Dunn. And
Coach Dunn.
he said, Coach Dunn says, this is why I like Coach Dunn, man. It's his takes is just hilarious. He says Arizona State are the biggest paper champions in the country. I guess he's tired of everybody seeing so much potential in Arizona State, and then they just letting us down. But I still just see a lot for this team, and I would agree that they're one of the biggest paper champions in the league. But I think Washington has that title done. I'm sorry. I definitely got to go with Washington as far as being the paper champs this year. For some reason, I'm not trying to hate, but like for some reason, they don't play anybody enough. I get the wins, but when you don't play anybody, I can't give you, credit over a certain team. So I definitely have to go with Washington as the paper chance done, but I can see where you get this where you get this, take from, because a lot of people have faith in ASU and they still kind of, just bottom of the league. So
And
definitely get it.
if I can go back to one game, because I actually had a point about this team that I wanted to make earlier, and we'll go to the next game, but the Georgia and Auburn game. And the reason why I want to talk about that game is Georgia feels like they have something to prove after the first two games of this year. And AR, if you remember, how did last year's game against this team go?
Yeah.
Y'all had to climb
back. Yeah.
back.
I had to put on a clutch
game.
performance, man. I had to go
Y'all had to
Brady
claw
mode.
your way back, and this was part of like why you guys kind of got like, oh, well, you guys almost lost to them, But this Georgia team is not the same team that we saw in week 1 or in week 2.
At all.
Granted, they haven't played anybody in the past few weeks, but they are blowing teams out.
Yep.
And Zeke Pruitt is starting to look like the real deal.
Yes,
and
he is.
I know we got the cornerback thing from Dunn. And I'll admit, I put Zeke Pruitt at 5 because I think Zeke Pruitt is that good, and I think he's going to be that good. And I've been telling folks this. I think the Bulldogs can run the table of the SEC and make the playoffs. So I do believe that this Georgia team is legit. They are starting to turn a corner. Definitely. And they are becoming better and better. And I think they will win convincingly against the Auburn Tigers. They will not need a comeback this year.
I definitely completely agree with you. I think that it's just a different swagger that we've seen from these guys ever since, like the first 2 weeks. Like, I think that Zeke Pruitt just has a different type of confidence. I think since he made his mistakes, I feel like he has a lot more confidence in his game after making those mistakes, because he's airing it out. He's throwing some deep dots, like
Kalen Diaz,
Honcho, Jeffries, Rob even had a big game. Rob Castillo even had a big game. So it's
all
like
4 of them are getting involved, and Best is one of the most improved guys because after the Oregon game, everyone was saying, "Oh, same old Best. Like it's just going to be the same old Best this whole entire year." But he's been starting to show up and give credit to Best, because everyone kind of looked at him as a meme. He's not that guy for him, but he's been turning up and having a really good year ever since the first game where he had 3 fumbles, I believe, in the Oregon games.
Yep. 3 fumbles.
So credit to them, and I think they win this game convincingly. But
I would agree. And I'm pretty sure most of the chat shared that sentiment with us. But if you guys let us know if you feel any different, man, about that. But yeah, that was crazy. And now going to West Virginia and LSU, I think that most people would say this is a landslide, but I've seen West Virginia get conservative. I do think they should handle this team, and I think that they win. I'm going to pick them to win because they're the safe pick. However, do not be surprised if they go conservative in this game and they let one get away, because I think LSU is one of those teams that can sting you if you go into that conservative mode. Like, you should be able to beat them, but if you go into a conservative funk against LSU and you allow them to gain some confidence, you're in trouble. It's
almost like the trend with the West Virginia team. I mean, they did it last year against this very same team at home. They needed a Hail Mary pass with 6 minutes to go to get the lead on these guys. And that was a close game against one of the worst. He wasn't Will Stern, but they had a close game against this LSU team that it shouldn't have been close, because LSU, besides Will Diesel, I believe was his name.
Yeah, the running back.
That was it for LSU, and they almost lost to him. And so now
they had Gambino last year too. They had Gambino last year.
Yes, and they had Gambino, but this is. I don't know what to make of this West Virginia team. I do think they are one of the better teams of the college series.
I do. And I think Charge is terrific, but I don't know what.
But I agree with you that there's just something in their games where they are just like, we feel all right. We don't need to do much anymore, and
they get complacent too
in
fast.
week 1. And the biggest issue that we are starting to see is how much losing Grayson Mitchell and Hove was to this team.
Absolutely. We definitely see it.
Because Jordan Duke, I think he's a good player, but he's not Grayson.
He's not Grayson Mitchell at all. He's not even. I don't even think he's half of Grayson Mitchell, to be honest. Because Grayson Mitchell, from like Jordan Duke, he shows flashes. I'm not trying to take anything away from the kid. I'm not trying to discourage him. It's unfortunate that he had to step in for a guy as good as Grayson. That's going to give him that's going to. He has big shoes to fill. You know what I'm saying? And people are always going to expect more from Jordan Duke after seeing a running back like that. But he's no Mitchell, man. And like you said, them moving around that line, losing Jehovah,
and their line. If you watch a lot of their games, and I'm sorry to cut you off.
You good? You good,
if
bro.
You watch their line, they are one of the most undisciplined lines out of this whole entire college series. When you watch a West Virginia games, how many times are there flags?
Yes,
false
starts, holding,
it's
on big
one
plays.
Of the worst lines when it comes to they get flagged a lot. So that's something that's a concern for them, going throughout the whole entire year. So, but they still got studs. I mean, Grant Culpepper is one of the maybe the best free safety out of the whole entire college series force mitts, and he might be the best one besides BKM, but I still see them winning this convincingly. But again, knowing how West Virginia plays and how besides the Tennessee game, they are for some reason going to find a way to let LSU stay in this game when they shouldn't be.
Absolutely. And that's what I feel, bro. And that's why I got them for a safe pick win. But if I'm being honest with myself, I just think that I don't know, they have a chance of losing this game for sure with just the conservativeness and I think Hodge hit it on the head right here. He says they went from having a potentially top 5 back to a serviceable back and losing the lineman of the year to yours truly. And exactly what he said, hit it on the head. And now that shows the value in Jehovah, because he went from West Virginia and showing what he can do and what Grayson was able to do on his back to now he's in Miami, and look what Hodge is doing. Look how Hodge has benefited from it. So shout out to Jehovah, man, because that's definitely an interesting storyline, man, to watch. Seeing him go from West Virginia and help Grayson Mitchell with that success, and now he does the same thing with taking Miami up and helping Hodge take it to the next level. So shout out to Hova, man. Shout out to the Miami boys. Let me get some trees in the chat, y'all here. Shout out to Carlos Luzon for stopping by. We got to get that picture changed, man. I still see that Brooklyn uniform, man. We got to get you in that Houston threads. Can't wait to camp and everything starts, man, and see you in them official Houston threads. But is Hova your O-line one? Chris Dunn says. Honestly, it is a toss-up right now as far as O-line one goes. For me, I am torn between Ashley. I'm torn between my guy, Eric Ashley, and Jehovah, if I'm being honest. I'm just torn between these guys. I don't know, I don't know where you go as far as, Jehovah and Eric Ashley. I don't know if one's better than the other. I just think that they both can bring a tremendous energy on and off the field to your team. Both of these guys can perform on the field, and then both of these guys have great character off the field. So I think that's what makes it a little more challenging. I think if one of them lacked personality, that would be an easier decision to make. But because both of these guys have a terrific personality, because both of these guys are active, because both of these guys are just doing all the right things, it's so hard for me to really dissect who I have. I would have to really just watch the whole season film this year and last year on them to really poke holes. But for me to say off the top that I have one, I would be reaching. So I definitely
think it just depends on what your needs are. Do you need a tackle or do you need a guard?
Yeah, absolutely. I do think they both have versatility, though, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
because you can put Hope at left guard or right guard, and you can put Eric at either left or right. It's right just tackle, what do you need more? Do you need a left tackle? Well, do you need a tackle or do you need a guard?
A guard.
But I wouldn't be shocked, if both of these guys go in the top 10, because elite O linemen are so hard to find.
For sure. Elite O linemen and then O linemen with their energy, O linemen that embrace the position, O linemen that you're gonna have that's gonna embrace their role, that's gonna bring up the morale in the team locker room, and also be active. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a no-brainer. Like, I don't even think that we're gonna have two linemen that's like, yeah, I don't even think we're ever gonna have another two that's as committed as those guys at that position. You know, like in the past we had guys like Pat, Connor Holt, stuff like that. But I'm not sure if we're gonna have, another Jehovah and EA. I'm just being real. Those guys are
How
special.
active is the Georgia guard Tank?
Uh
He's
Tank Dominic, yeah,
pretty
he's good too, but I don't know how active he is.
okay.
I have
Because I
no
want to know
clue.
if he's getting up on his relos and stuff. Because I know he's one of the new like O linemen that came in the series and stuff. So
Yeah. And I think this is, I guess Hodge is saying like is whether you need run blocking or pass blocking. But I do think these guys can still serve you well in both
in
scenarios,
either,
either scenario. I think
because you are going to need a tackle for the stretch plays of when you call a
absolutely.
halfback stretch. So you're going to need him. And then when you call a halfback dive, that's where your guard comes in. Or, if you run the inside zone, both of those spots are very important.
Absolutely. And then Coach Dunn, the Sacramento Miners, with another comment. He said in the RFL, both could play either if they boost accordingly. And that's what I was saying as far as the versatility. I think that both of these guys have potential to play guard and tackle in the next level. Like, I think if you're an RFL team that has a guard and has a stud at guard, and then Eric Ashley's off the board, I don't see a scenario where you can't go get Jehovah and then develop him into a tackle, because he's going to develop himself where his work as far as reloads go, and then you would scheming him and different things. You can implement. You can get him up there as well. So I definitely think both of these guys have crazy versatility. But we're gonna get back to who y'all got. Like, we're gonna wrap up this segment real quick. TCU, OSU. This is a no-brainer for me. The other
Horn
OSU.
Frogs.
I got the Horn Frogs by 50. I don't see this even potentially being a trap game in no way, shape, or form.
OSU going up 21-0 like they did in the Baylor game. I agree.
Yeah, it's over for that. I think these guys may not even score, to be honest. TCU doesn't have the craziest defense, but their defense has been very good. Like, you cannot sleep on their defense.
Right.
It's been very good. So
elite, but they are good enough where they can win
yeah,
games just
absolutely.
like they did in the Georgia
game.
Yeah.
In the Georgia, Wisconsin. Like, you see these guys make plays when they need to. So I definitely got TCU by a landslide.
I got them by 40. It's not even going to be
it's not
close.
even exactly. So let me know who y'all got. Hodge with the quick TCU. Let's move on. Jaws and TCU was slaughtering them. Yeah, we just gonna move on. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 100. We at 88 right now, so make sure you guys subscribe to Moolah Sims, where we host the BoomCast live, man, and more Gunners content coming this year, more CS4 content. So definitely hit that like and subscribe for me if you can. Appreciate you guys. TCU, let's move on. TCU for Ronnie Shanahan, and we're gonna move on. TCU in the landslide. Next, we got Louisville versus number 10. Pardon me, number 18, Clemson. And I think even though Louisville, we seen them give Miami a run for their money, so this game may be a lot closer than we think. However, I do see Cinco and Clemson just doing their thing, man. Cinco, we know, has been a strong arm, been a gunslinger, and when you give him Shanahan, Mike, that's the wide receiver, right? If I'm not mistaken, Mike Shanahan is a receiver one, and then you have this guy Flame Campbell. It's just dangerous, man.
Simmons.
It's just Michael Simmons. Yeah, Simmons. Thank you. So when you got
Mr. Clutch on that team, that Miami game, that guy came up with some clutch catches.
That's
in
what
that
I'm saying,
Miami
man.
game.
Mike Simmons, yeah. Thank you guys for correcting me. Appreciate you, Pecan, man. And then Mike Simmons, man, mixed with a little bit of Flame, mixed with a little bit of Cinco, mixed with a little Noah Walker. I don't see no way Louisville wins this game. I think that they put up a fight, but winning, no. So what you think?
I do see them scoring points because once again, Clemson's secondary is not that fast, so I can kind of see them staying around. But this is the Louisville team, man. They aren't that good. They only have one win, and I think this is going to be a week where all those coaches who voted DeAndre number 3 best wide receiver over Caleb Houston, this is the week. Show us why guys think you are
Yeah.
number 3.
Absolutely,
Show us.
absolutely. And I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with.
Yeah, I don't agree
have
with
my
that.
opinions
Now
on that.
that's a stretch. However,
That was
you know, it is what it is.
coaches poll. You know,
And
it was a
coaches poll. Remember,
collection
it's
of votes.
It's votes. It's collection
It's
of
a
votes. So
collection of
somebody could have
votes.
had him at one person having him at 1, and the rest having him
Right.
at 3 would have put him over Caleb, who probably had more 1 votes, but then the coaches that didn't, have him at 1 kind of messed him up. So, don't take the coaches poll. Don't go too crazy about the coaches poll. Dunn went over that already. It's a combination of things. It's votes. So, don't get too hell bent on that. But I definitely don't have him over Caleb Houston yet. Not enough film. Not even enough big plays. He has some big plays, but all you have to do is go watch Caleb Houston season 1, and
see
no
what he's
way
doing
Campbell
this year.
even
But
adds up.
we will get onto that in the next game. But I do have Clemson winning this game. I think they win this game probably about like 35-21. Like, I think it's close for like a little bit, but I think Clemson pulls away and they win this game by 2 possessions.
Yeah, I believe so as well. I think maybe a 10-point game, maybe a 10-point game. Maybe a 17-point game. I think it could get like that. But just depending on Cinco, I think Cinco is
you never know what you're going to get with him.
Yeah, and that's what I think the determining factor of how bad they beat them is going to, be based off. Like, if Cinco comes out just firing on all cylinders, it's over. This is going to be a blowout.
But if do not forget, they have that running back on the other side of the ball. Marcus Paul is a good running
guy.
Back.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And St. Clair is decent. The quarterback, he's decent. So yeah, you definitely can't sleep. But I think if Cinco takes a while to get going and maybe makes a few mistakes, maybe Louisville could capitalize off of that. But if he's firing on all cylinders early, if he's hot early, it's gonna be dangerous. It's gonna be ugly for Louisville. So everybody says Clemson is looking like a sweep for Clemson. Darius Hodge does not agree with Flame being better than Caleb. He definitely shares that sentiment. Monty Wyatt thinks it's blasphemous. I agree, Monty. There's no way in Dolphin, we don't do that over here, but there's no way in Dolphin that kid is better than Caleb Houston. I'm sorry. Unless he ends the year with 2,000 yards or something crazy, I don't even think he has a chance to be better than Caleb Houston. Like, not to take anything away from the kid, because the kid did good, but this kid
we still need to see what you were going to do for a whole year, because
for a whole year, exactly.
CH broke the receiving record.
Yeah, he went crazy last year. So, he went berserk last year. So yeah, you definitely can go. You definitely can't go against the grain with that one. And then Hodge, Marcus Paul ran great against Miami defense. That says a lot about him. Absolutely, he definitely did. And yeah, I think he gives this team some trouble if Cinco isn't, stringing together drives consistently, and if he gives them too many possessions, he's definitely going to run into some trouble. But next up, let's go big game: Ohio State, Oregon. Ronnie Football versus Monty the Dynasty Wyatt. Caleb Houston versus that fairly good secondary of Oregon. Pecan, you against that secondary. Chandler back. Kitaro Sheffield. Let me know how you feel going into that game. Like,
I won't take a pick because I feel like that since it's my own team, I'm not gonna pull a Javier on here. So I think this is a really good team. They've lost 2 games in a row. They have a really good secondary, which they've kind of had some tough weeks because the literal guy who is CMC on that team had a great game against them. And then we saw what Calvin Poole and Levi did to them 2 weeks ago. I think this is a team that wants to show that they are still a great team, and they're going to bring everything that they got. But we're coming out in the all blacks, and we are going to try and look our absolute best.
Funeral service
night.
with the all blacks. Funeral
I'm
service.
Not saying that. I'm not going to get ahead of myself because I do respect this team, and I respect every team. But I think it will be a pretty good game to watch.
Yeah, I think this is definitely going to be a fun game to watch. I do have you guys in convincing fashion, honestly. I think just seeing them lose to who they lost to, I don't think that I just don't see it against you guys. Like I don't see them beating you guys. I do think that this is not a team that you guys can afford to take lightly because they still have potential to be a shocker. However, I
They
can't
are a
say
much better team on the road. Their 2 home games this year, they have been outscored 26-79 in these
absolutely.
last 2 games at home. And on the road, that's where they got the comeback against Florida State. That's where they got the comeback against ASU. So this team on the road is a completely different team than when they're at home. So that's something to watch for, that they are going to come into the shoe and in Columbus, Ohio as as the away team, where they are the much better team at home, it feels like. But Ronnie, just letting you know, man, you got Joel Howard, you got Spriggs, you got Eric Hogan, and you got
Absolutely.
Nico, you got Leathers,
Absolutely.
KMJ, Rucker, you got all of them that are waiting for you. So let's see what you got. I've always been ever since game 1, man, like I've been a fan of Ronnie. But
Yeah, man. I'm a big fan of him, and I think he tests you guys. I think he actually is going to test you guys. But I do think that you guys are just going to eventually wear him down. Like I've seen that out of a lot of the rookies when they get against some of the top. I mean, not rookies, freshmen. When they get against some of these top teams, they show flashes. But I just feel like ultimately these experienced defenses just begin to wear them down and work at their experience. So I think that's what you guys would do against Ronnie. I don't think he has a bad night. I think he plays fairly well against you guys, but I do think that you guys are going to be able to win in convincing fashion. I don't see any scenario where you guys really lose this game, but I don't want to be the guy to jinx y'all. So no, last
year, really quick, we beat them 34-10. So that was last year's game on their field. So
okay. So yeah, so that says it right there. I think it'll be similar. I think it'll be a similar outcome. I think maybe 35-17 type of thing. 35-17 type of thing. If you ask me, everybody's saying that, pretty much saying Ohio State. So we I feel like we can move on. Shout out to my guy Olin, man. Shout out to my guy Olin. What's good, Moolah in the RFL community? Definitely shout out to my guy. Love the support. Another league first guy, man. So definitely gotta give him a big shout out. But shout out to Ronnie Football, man. I believe in you guys. I believe in you. I think you're gonna, do some interesting things, but I just can't pick you against this Ohio State team, man. Monty,
another thing to watch out for. Another thing to watch out for. This is Joel Howard's, I think, second game, because he asked about this the other day. This is his second game now going up against a user, Submit, and Dante Brunk. So that's something to watch for.
It's another interesting matchup right there. Joe Howie, man, and then
because Brunk is really good. Brunk is a great wide receiver on that team, and they have a great tight end on that team too. So that's going to be something to watch for.
This is also a big game to me, where I'm watching very closely to David Leathers. I am watching David Leathers closely in this game because I spoke about earlier, stopping Carr one, and then Ronnie Football is also mobile. Ronnie Football throws that tight end open from that middle slot. When he rolls out and he takes the linebacker with him, he has that tight end open, and he usually dumps, throws that little dump on the run right there. And I think that if David Leathers can find a way to like nerf that, I think that's going to be very key in y'all dominating them. And I think that if David Leathers is able to show that, that's what I'm looking for out of him. If he's able to show that, that's going to be something that's very noted going into, this draft. Like, if he can take Ronnie Football out the game from a spot position, if he can take that middle, that nice little middle area that Ronnie likes to work in this game away, then I think that'll go a long way for him. Because, in the RFL, he's going to have to deal with mobile quarterbacks. He's going to have to deal with guys getting out the pocket and, freeing up passing lanes. And if he can show that he could take that away as well as stopping the run against Carr, I think that he's definitely can solidify a lot and say a lot to these, RFL scouts and coaches that I'll be watching. So, I guess most of us got Ohio State going to that one. So next we got Florida versus number 24 Wisconsin. Both of these teams, I don't think are like any league favorites. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Both of these teams aren't like league favorites, but both of them have a ton of potential. You know what I'm saying? We've seen Aaron. who I think is, one of the best quarterbacks in the series. The numbers don't lie. We seen him play against top teams, and the kids showed up. So I think that he has a good performance against Florida. There's nothing that shows me that he can't. However, that defense has so many holes, and however, he's not really surrounded by a lot of talent. You do have AAA and you have Chico Canetti, but it's only but so much they can do from the safety and linebacker position. I feel like not having a D line and not having, really good corners are just really holding this team back. I think they have another chance to maybe do something special going into the next game, hiring some ceilings again, if that's the route that they choose to go. But I do think, some of these Wisconsin guys can still be serviceable at the next level. And this is going to be an interesting game to watch. I think it's going to be pretty back and forth. I think it may even be high scoring, but I see Florida edging Wisconsin there.
I agree with you here. I think Florida gets the win here. I like the Wisconsin team very much, and I think they are definitely much better than what they were last year. And I agree with you. I think Aaron is a much better cornerback than Zion Thor. But I think besides Chico, Canetti, and AAA, I just don't think they have enough where they can stop Nathaniel Booker and the tight end that they got that I'm pretty sure is Kyle Pitts, but he's not named Kyle Pitts. But yeah. I'm pretty sure that's Kyle Pitts whenever he runs. So I'm going to take Florida in this game. But let me just say, I don't know how a 3-2 Georgia and 2-3 Auburn game is a premier game, but 1-4 versus 1-4.
Yeah.
Get the live game. But hey, I'm down with whatever the league is going to do because I'm still going to watch. So
I'm happy. I'm actually, happy that this is a primetime game because I wouldn't want to watch a blowout. I wouldn't want to watch
that is true.
Put 50 on Auburn.
I can see how this I can see how this game is going to be way more
competitive. Yeah.
So, and that's why I think it's going to be really close, but I think Florida wins by a field goal in this game.
Definitely. I definitely agree with you. And then this is going to be, which I don't think it's going to be a good game. I think that this is going to be the coming out party for Maryland because this is a decent Notre Dame opponent, which I think a lot of guys is going to say, yo, this should be a good game. It should be a decent game. But I think this is the game that Maryland is going to have it all together. I know that their defense is very shaky, but I think their defense, because Notre Dame's offense is kind of shaky to me, I think their defense will be able to do some things. And I think that three-headed monster takes off in this game. It's nothing about the Notre Dame defense that gives me the vibes that they're going to be able to handle Connor Jameson, Kareem Parker, and Chip Taylor. I think these guys are just a little too electric for this defense, and that's just my take. But let me know who y'all got. Let me know. Drop some comments, guys, and let me know who y'all got in this one. And Pecan, who you got?
I think this is almost a trap game for Maryland as well, going away into South Bend. I think this is a trap game. Almost every week might be a trap game for them because that defense is not that great, but I do think they have the weapons where they are going to outscore the Fighting Irish and win this game. But I wouldn't be surprised if Barnes and Pat Miller at least give them a game. So, but I still see Maryland winning this game by 7. But this is going to be a game that I think it's going to be close.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I can see. I'm not like when I said what I said. I can see this game being a close game, but for whatever reason, I just think that because I'm not really impressed by Notre Dame's defense, I think that the potential of Maryland's offense will click here, and I just think that this will be the game where they finally get a nice convincing win against a decent team to show we're top 10 for a reason. Like there's a difference between us and the rest of the guys. So. I got Maryland there. You said it could be a trap game. I would agree, but I definitely would have to take Maryland. And let me know who y'all got in the chat. Drop a comment. Don't be shy. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Drop a subscribe if you haven't already. Appreciate the love. Oklahoma, Texas. This is going to be a good game. This is a game that I think is going to be very competitive, and I would like to see what Jordan Granger and Allen Morgan can do. I think both of their stocks have went about even now from what I've seen from both of them. I think Allen started off, very high, But then, I feel like he just kept going lower and lower and
Those 2
lower down the
games back
draft
to
board.
back,
Yeah.
those 2 games back to back, the Miami and Ohio
Yeah.
State game really did a number on his stock.
I think, that's what I'm saying. I would agree. I think he definitely just been, kind of missing the mark. And I think Jordan Granger has did some things to help his stock and has did some things to show that he can be pretty serviceable. I still think he needs a little more time in the college series, but I do think he showed some things. And I think that him and Allen Mourning is kind of like even right now. And I think that, this duel right here just interesting to see because I want to see who takes off. I want to see if Allen Mourning can put him in this place, or I want to see if the young guy can say, you know what? No, I'm gonna show you that I can outplay you. I'm gonna show you that I got something in the tuck. And that's how I see that one going. I just think it's a good game for both of those quarterbacks. I don't have a favorite, and if I had to pick just to be safe, I'm gonna say OU. I know Texas is ranked higher, but I just gotta go with OU, D'Amico Brewer, and like if Allen Mourning could get it clicking with MSJ and those guys, I don't know.
And Enrique Bird, I agree. They gotta get Brewer going. I think this is a tough one because Texas does seem like that they're trending up in a good direction, but I agree with you that I don't think they have the pieces there yet where I believe that they are up there with OU, West Virginia, TCU, or Bayou.
That's good, Maury.
But my roommate and friend, who's a Oklahoma Sooners fan, he would hate me if I didn't take his Sooners.
Gotta go with the Sooners.
I gotta go with them here. But even if he wasn't here, I would still choose him because I definitely think OU is the better team. And I think they proved a lot of folks, that they are still a good team when they beat the Mountaineers 2 weeks ago. So I think they win this game. But let's not forget, last year, Allen Mourning needed a game-winning drive to beat this Longhorns team. And this
absolutely.
is a Red River shootout. So this is going to be a game.
Absolutely. I think it's definitely going to be a game. But like I said, the biggest story to me is Allen Mourning and Jordan Granger. And I think that this young guy got something to prove. And I do think that Allen Mourning has something to prove as well. But it's going to just be interesting to see, where that story goes. Because I don't know about both of these defenses. I've seen times where Texas defense has stepped up this year. But I don't know against I don't want to say elite quarterback in Allen Mourning, but against a quarterback who showed elite capability in Allen Mourning, I don't know if Texas will be able to handle that with the likes of Brewer if he can get Brewer going.
I want to check on my phone, but I'm using my phone. But I know with Tip Soto on that team.
Yeah, Tip Soto been going crazy as well, so I can't sleep.
OU does have a really good cornerback in Trey Brown, so I want to see if Trey Brown is going to be covering Cameron Schule or Schule.
That's a good storyline either way, Schule or Tip
Soto. So which one is he going to cover? Because Trey Brown, even though Caleb had close to 90 yards in our game against them, he wasn't letting CH getting any yaks. So, that is going to be a thing to watch for.
That's definitely going to be a thing to watch. And then here we go to end off who y'all got. We finally going to wrap up this segment, man. USC versus Washington. Washington guys have been asking for this in the Discord all year. This is all they've been talking about. USC. We're going to prove ourselves against USC. We're going to prove that we the team to beat against USC. We're going to prove that we the real deal against USC. I want to see the talk, the wait is all over. I want to see if these guys are worth the hype. If they could come out and battle against USC and show me something, if Javier can, light up USC's defense, then I can respect them. But if these guys come out and just lay a complete egg against USC, I don't want to hear these guys talking anymore because this is the game that they've been waiting for.
This is the game that they were talking about before the year started. This is what they've been waiting for. This is almost their Super Bowl.
And that's what I've seen some of these guys even say that. I've seen some
even
of these guys
before last week's game, they were already overlooking the Gators for this game, and we saw what just happened.
And they laid an egg.
Doing that.
That's what happens when you overlook opponents in the RFL, man. Whether it's college series or the pros, you cannot overlook any opponent. But since these guys been asking for this so much, I think they're gonna get what they deserve. I think they're gonna get what they've been waiting for. I think Calvin Poole is gonna get it together, and I think Calvin Poole is gonna light these guys up. So we're gonna see. I don't want to wish any bad on them, but we're gonna see. But I think that USC beats them in convincing fashion. I think Calvin Poole strings it together. Too many weapons. Glenn Sharp, as you can see with his comment right there. Kyshawn Williams, Matthew Horn, Levi Dixon,
Harris,
Chris Harris. I don't see no way that Washington beats this team. I know they have users. I know they have a decent user core. I know they built something nice, but it's no way that they're beating this USC team, in my opinion. So that's my take right there. Let me know who you guys got in the chat. This is the last one. Who you got? Pecan? Do you agree?
So Washington is at home for this game, but I made a tier list the other day that I don't know if folks saw or not. And I made, like, when I was going through the tiers, I was like, what? Like, where do I put USC? Because we have seen what happens when they play against us and when they play against Miami. But what do they do when they play against everyone else that isn't us? Like, they beat them, just like we saw in the West Virginia game, So it's like, I put them in that 1.5 for a reason, because I think Calvin Poole and that offense is legit. And Daniel Silverio is, to me, I know there's another guy on some other cast. I think it's Tyler Cage, but to me, it's Daniel Silverio, the Trojan General. That guy is the real deal.
So would you choose Silverio over Alvin Mack at this point?
Gosh.
Because I know you. I think that's 1A, 1B right there. I think those guys are kind of like neck and neck.
It's
so I want to just see your take.
It's so close between those two. It's so close. I agree. It's like you really couldn't go wrong, but I definitely do think Mac has probably a bit more. He probably has a bit more, because you can play him inside or outside,
yeah.
So
you're saying a little bit more versatile than Severio, and that's what I would agree to. But I think that the Severio does his job. That's not a knock to Severio. You know what I'm saying?
He is the heartbeat of that defense.
Exactly.
He is the heartbeat of that team. USC runs on him, and let me just say, with Washington, their run defense that they brought up last week is not that great. They were letting Iowa run all over them, but of course it's Iowa. They couldn't get anything going. And then we saw this week with Nathaniel Booker with 100 yards and three tutties. I think Levi Dixon has himself a game, and I think USC – I think they win this game convincingly as well. I don't think Washington is there yet. I think they still need to recruit for another year. But USC is, just like Darius said, like there's Ohio State, Miami, and then there's USC
absolutely.
And everybody else.
I agree. And it's been like that. Like, we kind of seen that trend for the last couple, series. And I don't think anybody outside of Miami and I don't think anybody outside of Miami and Ohio State really has like a clip, like a 100, like a almost sure shot at beating USC. Like, I think Baylor is gonna have a tough ride against them. I think Georgia has a tough ride against them. I think TCU has a tough ride. So
yeah, and I think they can give anybody a game that's not us or Miami.
So we're gonna get into something next. Shout out to Coach Back, man. Shout out to Coach Back. This is actually his conference graphic right here. And shout out to him. We're gonna use it right here because I just want to see how it's lining up, see how things are lining up. I want you guys to see how things are lining up, and we're gonna call this the state of CS4. So this is another just chatty segment that you guys can just look over and just see any interesting storylines. Give me some hot takes based off the conferences that y'all see right now. Of course, in the Big Ten, we got Ohio State leading 4-0. Following them is Maryland. After that is Penn State, Michigan, Iowa, Wisconsin. The Big 12 has Baylor leading the charge at 3-2. Oklahoma 2-2. TCU next, Texas, West Virginia, and Oklahoma State. The reason why TCU is in ahead of them is because of conference play. and we're gonna see that move around, of course. And so TCU is really like the head honchos of that conference right now. But who knows? Maybe things get interesting when conference play comes, and maybe you know Baylor or one of these teams has a chance to climb in the ranks. And then we got the SEC. You got Bama leading the charge. You got Tennessee following them, Georgia in third, LSU, Auburn, Florida, Texas A&M, South Carolina. Nothing too crazy there. The most interesting thing about the SEC this year, I would have to say, has to be Tennessee at number two. Um, Georgia
But
being
man,
Georgia being in the top three, I don't think is really a surprise, but I do think seeing Tennessee there is a bit of a surprise because you're used to maybe having Alabama, Georgia, and then like LSU or
yeah, but
Alabama,
Tennessee is going to drop now though with Tyon being
suspended.
suspended.
Yeah,
That's their season.
yeah, that's
That's
gonna be tough. Yeah, this is gonna. I mean, who knows? Maybe the backup could come in and do something. But yeah, I think that he kind of blew it for his team with that one as far as conference play goes. I think they lose this game and maybe lose conference contention after because of this act. So that's definitely something that is just wasn't fun to see pan out. But it is what it is. You gotta watch your conduct, man, in the league like this, and you got to suffer the consequences. So that's a tough break for Tennessee, but yeah, man. I definitely see this conference. I don't see no really surprise out of this conference besides Tennessee. And
yeah, that's really the only one. But the Florida and South Carolina ones are still what
I guess they still in a hunt. But if I'm
they
being
are.
honest, I see this being the Alabama Georgia race again.
It's always going to be
Yeah,
Alabama and Georgia.
always gonna
Always.
be a Alabama Georgia race, man. So moving to the ACC, we got Miami, of course, at 5-0, leading the charge. Following them, North Carolina, 4-2 now. Clemson after that, Notre Dame, Louisville, and Florida State. I think that this is a clean sweep for Miami,
Yeah.
unless they fumble the bag against Clemson in the chip. I think that's the only way Miami can kind of like hurt themselves is fumbling the bag against Clemson in the chip. There's no other way around it. Miami's definitely going to the ACC chip. I think Clemson is even a sure shot in the ACC chip, and I know that sounds crazy because North Carolina is right there, but like you
But they
said, man,
lost. But they
yeah,
lost to Clemson, so they had to head to
exactly,
head.
yeah,
So
exactly.
really, of what they need is they need. I mean, because Clemson really after this Miami game, if you look at their schedule, they don't really have anyone else that's a big time team to play except that team up north. So Clemson, what UNC is rooting for if they want to get to the ACC title game is for Clemson to start losing, but they are start they are going to start playing the weaker teams now, and that's something that UNC does not need, and they need them to lose more. So
Absolutely, absolutely. Darius Howard says ACC is always going to be Miami, and whoever else decides to step up. I definitely agree with that sentiment. I don't think Miami is going anywhere anytime soon, but I would like to see some of these teams build up in the ACC and give you guys a challenge, man. I do think y'all have a challenge on your hands with Clemson. Not that they have any shot of like dominating you guys, but I do think this team can sneak you if Cinco is playing on his shield and their defense is able to step up and make some big plays. But yeah, I definitely see you guys taking that. And then going to the Pac-12. Oh, wait, hold on. Shout out to my guy, Sean Duncan, man. Just dropped in to show love to the BoomCast. Keep it up. We definitely appreciate your support, my guy. Shout out to my guy, Sean Duncan, man, the RFL guy, good community guy, always showing love. So big shout out to him, man. Show him some love. Pac-12 now. USC at 4-1, Stanford at 2-3, UCLA 1-4, Oregon 3-2, Arizona State 1-4, and Washington
oh, this
last.
is their first conference game this week too
Yeah,
against
yeah,
USC.
exactly. So like they can
Wow.
stay that low if they lose. You know what I'm saying? Like losing their first conference game, being winless in the conference can keep you low, and now you're at 3-3, and it won't. It's not
But
looking good.
then again, they've now played 5 games. So, and let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they have 5 other teams left. So really, they only have 2 other more non-conference games to play. And if they just lose to USC, they can still get to that Pac-12 title game.
Absolutely. But I don't know. I don't know if they could beat Oregon out. But
that's going to be a fun one to watch.
It'll be interesting to watch. Exactly. That's going to be fun to see if they can beat Oregon out to take that spot. But I do think that Oregon, this will be a USC Oregon championship game. But I'm not sleeping on Washington. I think Washington is right there, but it's going to be interesting to see how they play against a team like Oregon and see if they can actually pull through. So that'll be it for State of CS4. Just giving you guys a little conference outlook and chopping it up about the conference for a minute. But everything looks up to shape here. I got Ohio
The thing
State.
is, with the Big 12, though, it's all going to come down to when those 4 teams finally meet. We finally got one of them to meet in OU and West Virginia, but we are really going to see who prevails when Baylor, West Virginia, and TCU and OU finally all play against each other, and it's coming up soon.
Absolutely. So shout out to shout out to my guy Aaron, man, with the comment, Wisconsin gonna pop off. We actually gonna get Aaron on the show here because I'm gonna get into a segment about using quarterbacks, and I actually want to see, how he's enjoying his RFL experience, and definitely want to just give the community, like just a little bit more of him. I know guys probably don't really see him talk much and stuff, but here's your opportunity here on the BoomCast Live. Let me get that invite up to him, and we're gonna get right into it. So Aaron, check your text messages, Aaron. Check your text messages. You should have a link there. You could just join through your phone, your iPad, or your laptop, and you're gonna be live here with us. So make sure you check it. And then we're gonna move on to the top 25 week 6 RFL College Series top 25. Here we go. Ohio State at number 1, Miami at number 2, TCU at number 3, USC at number 4, Texas at number 5, Alabama 6, Maryland 7, West Virginia 8, Georgia 9, Baylor 10, 11, Oregon 12, UNC 13, Washington, Tennessee at 14, Penn State at 15, 16 LSU, 17 OU, 18 Clemson, 19 Michigan, 20 Notre Dame, 21 Stanford, 22 Auburn, 23 the other USC, South Carolina, 24 Wisconsin, and then 25 ASU. This looks about right. And I do think that there's still a lot of football left. And I do
there's
think
still so much left.
25 to 15 can be shaken up pretty significantly. We're at the exact halfway mark, and I still think 25 to 15 can be shaken up significantly. Top 10 is kind of getting a little more packed in. I feel like the more we're going, the closer the weeks, I think the top 10 is doing this. They're closing the gap on the.
But there's one team in there that we're kind of like, let's see them finally play those Big 12 teams.
Absolutely.
And that's the number 5 team where it's like, let's see what you're really made of.
Absolutely. Let's see what you're really made of. We got Aaron in the booth with us, man. Aaron, you're muted right now. Whenever you're ready, you can mute your mic.
I'm unmuted now. What's up, guys?
What's up? What's going on? So we're just looking at the top 25 right now, and we're not we're just saying like we think that things are pretty much open, but the top 10 is actually shrinking right now. I feel like they're showing that they're a little different compared to the rest of the 11 to 25. However, like Pecan said, you still got, Texas in there ready to see if they're going to fall or they're going to rise. And I do think you still kind of got Maryland in there who has a chance to slide as well. And if I'm seeing who can, take those spots, like we spoke about, potentially Penn State can take that spot from, I think, Texas or Maryland. Also, Alabama could slip, So I think,
And another thing to watch out for, week 11, Alabama
Oregon
plays USC.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, Alabama plays USC, so that can actually push them up. I think things are still pretty interesting from 15, from maybe I'll say 5 to 15. Then I think 5 to 15 is still very interesting. I don't think we'll have too much fluctuation, but I do think we'll have a lot more movement through 5 and 15 in the next couple of weeks. I think we got some teams that have potential to rise and some teams that definitely have potential to fall, but This is still Stated CS4, just giving you guys the outlook after the conference outlook. But we're going to get into the next slide. Top 5 user halfbacks. Hit up them halfbacks, man. Let's see where they at. The user halfbacks in the chat. I know my guy Hodge is here, but top 5 user halfbacks. I got Darnell Hodge at number 1, 625 rushing yards. He's averaging 6.7 yards per carry with 9 touchdowns. Following him, number 2 on the list, I got Kareem Parker with 500 rushing yards, 6.19 average per carry, 6 touchdowns. Then I have D'Amico Brewer at 3rd with 366 rushing yards, averaging 5.23 yards per carry with 4 touchdowns. 4th, I have True Bronze with 404 yards, averaging 4.87 yards per carry and 6 touchdowns. Then last on the list, at number 5 user running back, I have Euro Winbush out of Ohio State, 339 yards, averaging 5.65 yards a carry with 3 touchdowns. Now, I'm going to give you guys why I feel this list is this way, and then I'm going to ask Pecan, I'm going to ask Aaron, and I'm going to ask the chat, what do y'all think about my list? So I got Hodge number 1, of course, because Hodge is just clean cut.
Clear.
Running back 1 this year. He's
Easy.
running back 1. Nobody else can do it like him. He's
Hodge for Mackey. Seriously.
Hodge for Mackey. He's all 3 backs in 1. He's literally a power back, a receiving back, and an elusive back all in 1. He can do everything. Numbers don't lie. His team is undefeated. It's no brainer with Hodge at number 1. Number 2, I gotta go with Kareem Parker. Yes, I know D'Amico Brewer and True Bronze has history over this guy, but what this guy was able to show us as far as big playability, and because D'Amico Brewer and True Bronze are kind of like trailing behind him as far as productivity goes this year, I had to throw him up there, man. I think that he's just shown me that he is the number 2 back, just period. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think he's the number 2 user back as far as just period right now. And I think that D'Amico Brewer and True Bronze are still right there. Like, you know, they still have time to cover that ground. But I just do think that Kareem Parker has bolstered onto the scene this year. And I think he's just proven that he's the number 2 guy, you know, outside of you know, Hodge. And then D'Amico Brewer, even though, you know, OU is struggling, you know, they're having times where they're not giving him the ball. I don't think that his production is down because of him. I think his production is down because of what the team is running, and just you know, that team is just not clicking for whatever reason right now. I don't know if they need a new offensive coordinator or what, but it's just not clicking for them right now. I don't think that that is a D'Amico Brewer issue. This kid is very versatile. He's not as versatile as a Hodge as far as power goes, but this, don't sleep on his strength. This kid still, you know, has been running with some power this year. So got to go with D'Amico Brewer as 3rd. Then we got True Bronze. He's been kicking it into gear, and I do think True Bronze has even a chance to slip into that 2 or 3 spot if he can, you know, really show us he has it, you know, back clicking. I think if True Bronze is a couple big performances away from being that number 2 or number 3 guy, I just think that he has to, you know, show us. I think he is in the perfect opportunity at Baylor to show us that he is, you know, a top 5 back. I think he's proved he's a top 5 back as far as users go. And I just want to see, you know, if he can take that success and build on it and, you know, get, you know, climb the ranks of this list. So last on the list, I got Euro Winbush, because this kid has always showed us his potential. Even at Penn State, he showed us that he has tremendous capability, big playability. And I just think it's just something that's just been missing that he hasn't been able to show us. And him going to Ohio State, I think that he was willing to take the hit on his production for more of a team success type of thing and more of showing what he can do on a collective unit. And I can't blame him for that. And he's still been, you know, producing 339 yards, been doing some things in the passing game that you can't see reflected on him because I just did rushing. But he's averaging still 5.65 yards a carry, which is tremendous. 3 touchdowns, even though we know he's not the goal line back. So that says something. And yeah, the kid is just talented, and there was just no way I could leave him off this list.
And if you want to see why Euro Winbush is at Ohio State, go watch the Penn State game and see what he did in that 4th quarter drive. Because when we got all of our points, we were like, let's just run the ball here, and Euro
Absolutely.
just went and got the first after first after first. So that's why he is here, because as much as I do like Brock Fultz, he had his limits.
Absolutely.
But Euro can catch out of the back of a field though, and he can be a receiving back when we need him to be. And he was big in that USC game and getting some key first downs. So, I mean, he's been great for us, and
I definitely agree.
I have enjoyed watching Euro having the year that he is having. And if you want to see an amazing run, just go watch what he did in the
Absolutely.
game.
Before I get to the chat, Pecan, how do you feel about this list? What do you think about this list? Do you think that it's a decent list? What would you change if you could change anything? And who would you put on this list that you did think that would be on your list if you made it? And who would
of course, the guy that I've been watching, the last 2 weeks, who's been huge. I mentioned him earlier, but I guess you can call him a generic because he already has a player in the RFL, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I can't say him. So if I'm looking at running backs, I think Marcus Paul is really good, and your boy Best has a chance to probably get back up there.
Best was literally like number 6 for me, but like I just couldn't put him over these guys because of the mistakes.
I think Kazim Cash also kind of disappears too much in games. Like there are games where he's like, "Oh, that's Kazim Cash," but then there are games where it's like,
Remember the no yards. Remember the no yards game. Yeah. We didn't act like we forgot about that. So
and that's what I'm saying. So I agree with the list. The one thing with True Bronze, the one thing that has worked for the Baylor team, is getting rid of the read option and finally giving True Bronze the ball and not having Tomo running it. But I could see maybe a guy like JC Johnson getting up there. But he has been having more of a receiving back here than he has running.
For sure. Yeah, and shout out to Bane, man, just now being able to stop by. We appreciate the love whenever you guys have the free time and you guys could pull up, man. I definitely always appreciate it. I know you guys are busy, so I definitely appreciate you guys for stopping by, showing love. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you can. If you in here and you've been listening, man, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, man. We trying to get to 100 subscribers. Definitely trying to get this content pushed out for the rest of the league. But Aaron, how do you feel about this list? If you followed any of these running backs, if you haven't, you don't really have to, go too deep. But
well, I haven't been keeping my eyes on too many running backs because they haven't been my Wisconsin's kryptonite. We've had a lot more issues with wide receivers, but we'll save that for later. This seems pretty good for now. I feel like number 2 and 3 and 4 on the list are kind of interchangeable. Any of these guys could have a really pop out week and just make it.
I do think Kareem is the clear number 2, though. I agree 100% that I think Kareem's the clear number 2.
Yeah. I think
clear cut.
Yes.
Like I think he's clear cut right now, but I think he's clear cut number 2 right now, but I'm not saying that he's a lock at because True Bronze and D'Amico Brewer are right on his tail. They're one big game away from this changing. Like literally this week, it could change with a certain performance by True Bronze and D'Amico Brewer. So
that's true.
So like I'm definitely.
And keep in mind, Kareem just had a bye week.
Exactly.
They literally just had a bye week where he couldn't add to those 500 yards that he already has through 4 games.
Yes, sir. Then Coach Dunn saying JC needs more consistency. I definitely would agree with that. Chris Clark in the chat. Yeah, this is another freshman who boasted onto the scene, but he's in a situation where he's splitting carries, and still nice to see him following the other running backs and showing love. But he said he's gonna climb. He's climbing next year once he get that status over. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing him. Taking that halfback 1 slot next year and doing some things, man. So this is the top 5 user halfbacks, and right now we're about to get into that top 5 user quarterbacks. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think. Hold on, I didn't even notice I didn't change this right here, but so let me know what y'all think. Top 5 quarterbacks. Here we go. Number one, but remember, this is users, guys. Number one, we got Miles McCain coming in 124.2 QBR, 74.9 completion percentage, 14 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Miles has been lighting it up. He's been playing nearly perfect. You know what weapons he has. And just right now, I just got to be honest, man. Miles McCain is QB1. If I'm being honest, user QBs right now, Miles is QB1. When he showed he's able to do with high level receivers, has to put him there, man. Because now you got to think, if you're a pro scout, if you're a pro, coach, you're looking at this guy and you're like, okay, when he struggled a bit on a team that the weapons were decent, but when you put him with some studs, the kid showed you that he's almost perfect. Like I said, like he's almost like just everything you want to see out of your quarterback and field general. And I gotta go with Miles at number one. Had to put him there. Number two, Monty Wyatt, who was number one on my list to start the year. But I think he's taking a step back slightly, and I just don't think that he's as good as McCain right now. He still has a whole half a season, but first half of the season, I just think Miles was able to edge him and take this spot from him. But Monty Wyatt, 114.30 QBR, 75.9 completion percentage, 9 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. The 8 interceptions is definitely alarming, but we've seen the same thing out of Miles last year. So, I think Monty has been stringing it together after that first, terrible game. I think he's looked a lot better. You can see it in the reflection of his completion percentage. 75.9 is still terrific. He actually is beating Miles in that. But the 8 interceptions is just still glaring. And I know that half of those came in one game, but that's still something to look at. And
all 8 of those are from the first 2 games.
From the first 2 games. So.
Yeah, the first 2 games. Yeah, we were turning over the ball a lot.
Yeah, so
but it's all right, Monty.
That's what's alarming, but I still think he's just a lock at number 2 right now. I do think that if he has any struggles in the second half of the season and Taj is able to, just keep going crazy, I do think Gaddy has a chance to edge Monty for that number 2 spot. But as far as right now, I think Miles McCain and Monty Wyatt is locked in that 1 and 2 spot as far as user quarterbacks go because of the performances that they've been able to put up, man. And definitely gotta go Taj Gaddy at number 3, man. The kid has been lighting it up. The kid has been playing good ball. The kid has just been, just doing what he needs to do. The kid, Taj, 13.53 QBR, 71.4 completion percentage, 15 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Now, my only knock on Taj is the same knock on his team. He gets too conservative at times, and he takes sacks, takes way too many sacks. He holds the ball way too long. Yes, he's still very competitive. Look at the QBR compared to the rest of the guys and Monty Wyatt, who I have ahead of him. But then if you look at the completion percentage from the rest of the top 5 guys, he kind of slips there. But anytime you got 70%, that's good.
A lot though.
And he throws a lot. Yeah, and they have him throw about 50 times a game. So you can't really take. You got to take that with a grain of salt as far as that completion percentage goes, and he's still completing at a high level because 15 touchdowns to 2 interceptions.
15 to 2.
Granted, we do see him throw some overthrown balls, underthrown balls. Sometimes we do see Taj throw passes that's like okay, but he doesn't. I'd rather him do that over throwing an interception, and he doesn't do that very often. He showed us he's more comfortable in his system, and just showed us he has a bigger chip on his shoulder this year. So
credit to Trey Drain really becoming a key guy for him. Absolutely. So yeah, man. So here had to go with Taj Gaddy number 3, man, because I just think that Monty and Miles is just a lot from what they showed. But I do think that if Taj is able to go off in the second half, he can jump both of them. I don't know. I don't think it's really possible for him to jump them. But if they are to take a step back in the second half and he continues to play consistent, I do think that it's some coaches that's going to be willing to take that shot on a Taj over these guys just because of the consistency and because of the workload. Because his team throws him makes him throw 50 times a game and he's still able to complete passes at a high rate.
and not throw interceptions, I think a coach will take, trying to fix his game and trying to get him to, try to get him to throw the ball away and just be more aware as far as the pressure goes. But gotta go with him there. And then at number 4, I have Aaron Uchiha himself. We got Aaron in the
guy.
chat with us.
There you go, Aaron.
Gotta go with Aaron at number 4, man. 130.10 QBR, highest on the list right now.
That's insane. Wow.
That's insane. He has 130 QBR playing for Wisconsin
with
a 79.9 completion percentage.
You know, it was that last game that threw that percentage off.
Absolutely.
That pick six.
That pick six, and then 13 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. He's a first-year guy. The 6 interceptions are kind of,
that's a bit concerning. But
yeah, it's a bit concerning. But when you think about it, he's in a position where he has to be a gunslinger to give his chances to
Landry is not that guy. I'm sorry, Aaron, but he's not.
Yeah, I mean, he does what he can.
Yeah, but he doesn't do enough.
Absolutely. And I would actually agree. I see some comments in here. I would agree, Coach Dunn, that Chip Taylor is very underrated. However, I cannot put him over any of these guys. I don't think that he's underrated when it comes to these guys right here, this top 5. I don't see Chip being better than any of these guys to this point. I think he has potential to maybe edge Javier, but maybe edge Javier.
Zeke Pruitt has a chance to get into that top.
I also think I think Zeke and Jordan Granger to me is right at the bottom of this list. Zeke
they are getting there.
Is getting there. I do think they need some time, but definitely had to go with Aaron, man, number 4 user on this list. I think outside of the CS3 guys, Aaron is the best quarterback in the college series as far as users go. I think he's clean cut, just ahead of his class. Like he's able to, get out the pocket and make plays, and then he's able to stay in the pocket and make terrific plays as well. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what I want to say. I want to see more out of him because he's plays for Wisconsin, so he has to throw. Some of these passes that are intercepted or you may have to question comes out of being behind. Being behind and having to make something happen, or your team just doesn't have a shot. And had to go with Aaron there, man. How you feel about that, Aaron? How you feel about seeing yourself at number 4 on this list as far as user QBs in the whole series? And what has been your experience in this college series playing for a team like Wisconsin? Because I was trying to get you to go to Georgia originally. Aaron is my cousin, guys. I was trying to get him to go to Georgia, but he said he wanted to make a name for himself and he wants to go to a school where he can show his impact. And I think he's definitely done that. So, Aaron, I'm going to ask you once again, what is your experience? How has your experience been in this Relocation Football League series? And how does it feel being a Wisconsin Badger and seeing your guy going night in, night out, maybe lose, but put up some good numbers?
Well, for me, basically being the number 1 as the quarterback, all the losses and all the one that we do have, I'll take responsibility for all the RFL so far. It's been pretty cool. Got a lot of cool guys in the Discord and here in the chat. I see the little comments here and there. But as far as the losses and the series, like CS4 goes, I feel like our losses haven't been that bad. It's more of first year guy having to make the plays and other guys having to make plays on their end.
Yeah.
But losing by 3 or 4 every other week is
they have been hard.
I'm not gonna say I'm mad
man.
a little bit.
Y'all are losing some heartbreak.
Being in Wisconsin, it's like we could have been losing 7, 14, 25 every game. So losing 3, losing 4. And I've seen Penn State. I'm pretty sure we're the only team they beat by 4 or in that margin. 3 in that margin of a field goal. So I'll take that badge and wear that one.
Absolutely. So how do you feel about your draft stock midway through the season? And is there any way that you can see yourself maybe staying in college or staying in college at Wisconsin or staying in college and transferring, or do you see yourself actually declaring, no matter what happens?
Well, I'm gonna put this on the live chat. If anybody who's here now, you're the first to know. If I decide not to, if I don't get drafted or I decide to stay, there's no transfer. I'm staying in Wisconsin. We're gonna make something happen if I stay.
Okay, there you go. I know Bill's gonna be happy to hear that.
That's a
And
fact.
let's just say that's like a big thing that a lot of coaches that I've noticed in the RFL do like, because it is a trend for everyone to kind of jump on and like, oh, I kind of want to go here because I think they'll like, and guys will really like that you are staying at your school and going to stay and try to help
Absolutely.
this team, because to me it shows a leadership quality that you are going to take on to this team. You know you don't have it as good as like maybe us or Miami, but you are going to take on a role
Absolutely.
of like, I want to be
Right.
the guy that turns this around. And not
Nick.
only that, you're going to next year's game where you're finally
Absolutely.
going to get an O-line and a running back. So
That's true. We're not really. If we were getting now, I'm gonna say this because I like my team, but if we were losing 14-21 every game, it might have been a transfer in the back of my mind. Not gonna lie, but from what I see here, I see that if we have another year, we can work to something.
you guys have
Absolutely.
something going.
I would
man.
definitely agree, and I think that I think that you're actually playing so good that it's putting you in a weird spot where not declaring can almost hurt you, because if you come back next year and say y'all don't do as good and you don't do as good, I think that can hurt you. But I do think that you're in an interesting spot where a coach will definitely take the shot on you if you do declare, because of just how much potential you have and what you are able to do in big games. We've seen you take TCU to the wire. We've seen you take Penn State to the wire. Every game that you played, you really took the team to the wire, and the numbers don't lie. 80 completion percentage, I believe that leads the league. Like, that has to. Through 6 weeks to have 130 QBR, 80% completion percentage, and then 13 touchdowns, 6 interceptions is outstanding for a Wisconsin quarterback. I don't think it's ever been done by a Wisconsin quarterback. So, I definitely hope that you could keep it up. Man, I'm rooting for you. As
The
much as I
rest
can.
of the season definitely gotta say in declaration and team composition.
Absolutely. So, and then I kept rambling on about you because we have you here to actually speak through this. But fifth on the list, we have Javier Santana. He's right behind you as far as QBR goes, 129.40, 76.4% completion percentage, 15 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. That's Miles McCainish with as far as the split goes. But my only knock on Javier Santana, yes, the numbers look good. However, you do not play anybody. He hasn't played any secondaries to test them. He should have numbers like this when you don't play any secondaries that's going to test you. You should have numbers like this when
What is
we look
that?
back.
What is that name that Matthew Stafford used to get at him for years? Stat pad,
Yeah. Like, I think,
or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. I think Javier Stat Pad Tanner. I think that's a good name, because, and I'm just not a knock to him because he's
and
doing
it's not right,
Yeah,
because
it's not a knock.
he is doing what he is supposed to do. But
Exactly.
that was kind of the knock that Monty Wyatt and all of us were getting last year, that we weren't playing anyone. But then what did we do in the biggest moments? We rose to the occasion, and Monty had a career game against AR against y'all on the biggest stage. So he showed that, okay, Monty Wyatt is legit, so he can play against these teams. This is your chance this weekend.
This is definitely the chance. This is the opportunity that you have to seize as far as like Javier Santana goes, because if you tank, I'm telling you right now, you've been top 5 on a lot of lists, but if you tank this game, just know a lot of people's gonna be like, okay, the hype is over. He was doing it against
WAC for
teams.
The whole team. Be there for your team the whole game too, because a lot of folks
saw. Everybody saw the MIA. Everybody saw you go ghost, and you're a guy that talks. You're a guy that talks, Javier. I gave you credit for being a leader. But I don't know, man. You kind of made me nervous when you went MIA on your team.
You got to answer the call.
You got to answer the call now.
Got to be there for your guys.
Now you have to answer the call.
Leader.
You are the clean-cut leader, and you have to answer the call, man. So until you ball against a deep, I'm going to keep you number 5 right now as far as users go.
Yeah, like he's still playing good, yeah.
You deserve it. But if you don't do it against USC, man, we packing you up. I'm sorry. We packing you up. We getting you out of here. I ain't going to say the other nickname, but you'll be back to that in my mind. Top 5 user wide receivers.
Really quick, can I make a point about my boy Monty Wyatt?
Hold on. Yeah, we'll go back.
So one more point about Monty Wyatt, and I don't know if this will. Maybe I'm out of pocket here, but I have noticed a big change with the Ohio State offense compared to last year. So last year, and you got to think about the games. Madden 20, right? That was the game that we were on last year.
Yeah.
So the Buccaneers offense, that's what we run. Who do you remember who the quarterback was on the Buccaneers in 2019?
Jameis Winston.
And what was James known for?
Interceptions.
Well, yeah,
Interceptions.
yes, but the guy, oh yeah, no, that was the 30 year, but he was known for taking those shots downfield. And as we saw in our offense, we were taking a lot of shots downfield. So this year, our offense has changed almost to a short, medium passing game, and we're still running the Bucs offense. Who's the quarterback of the Bucs now?
Tom Brady.
And what does Tom Brady do? Short, medium passes.
Absolutely.
So the Ohio State offense has we aren't taking a lot of deep shots like we were last year, but it's also showing the versatility of this offense that we can play deep, but we can play short and middle just as good.
Sure. Absolutely. And that's why like I said, that's why I got Monty still up there, because even with the mistakes and even with the changing of the playbook, and he's still just showing the clean cut consistency. He's still showing the pro ability. He's still showing the pro potential. So I had to have him there. But I had to highlight this comment by Javier Santana. Just didn't want to blow up on nobody. That's all. And no, we get it. We definitely get it. But that's where the sportsmanship and that's where knowing how to take your losses come, man. Like, I'm a guy that talks a lot and
AR had some bad
and I had some bad losses last year, and I had to take it, man. I had to face the music. So yeah, take it on the chin. So I got to see the same thing from you, man. I'm not expecting nothing different from you. You know what I'm saying? Guys go crazy on whoever, guys say things about a lot of guys. Tyon, how he reacts after losses. Campbell, how he reacts. So you got to get the same, heat. You got to get the same flack. And until you redeem yourself after that loss, you're going to hear it, man. So I think you have a good chance of, redeeming yourself this week, and we're going to see what's up. But shout out to Tyler Goat. Shout out to, I believe that's Tyon. Shout out to you, man. Thanks for the comment. Definitely hit that like button if you haven't already. And
let's see receivers.
We're going to move on to the top 5 receivers. I know some guys going to feel away. I know some guys going to feel away about this, man, but it is what it is.
Oh, so, of course. This is the most egotistical spot in the whole
entire story. Our wide receivers, I just noticed the RFL wide receivers are divas, bro. Like, we have some diva receivers
do have some divas, man.
For sure. So, to start off the list, man, we got Devontre Sharkley, clean cut. Clean cut. As far as this season goes, clear cut, wide receiver 1. 27 receptions, 587 yards. He's averaging 21.74 yards a catch, 6 touchdowns. To go along with that, the kid has just been terrific. He can get it done on every level of the floor. He's dominating any defensive back that's guarding him. Whether you go man, whether you go zone, he's tearing you up. And the kid is just an absolute beast, and he's just proven why he's the number 1 guy this year. Definitely had to go with him there. Number 2, none other than Caleb Houston. Still has potential to be number 1. Still has a chance to be number 1. But with Shark just exploding in the first half of the series, I just gotta go. Season. I have to go with him at number 1. But Caleb Houston is still right there. Caleb Houston is still showed tremendous big play ability. As you can see, 26 receptions, 305 yards, 11.73 yards a carry. Yards a catch with 5 touchdowns. And he did have a bye week as well. So
yeah, we just had a bye week, so that had a big thing on our stats.
Had a bye week, so you definitely can't, go.
But he's scoring. Yeah. He's scoring.
So yeah, and that's what I'm saying. But he's scoring, so he's still showing you, like, listen, man, I don't got to make big plays. My team is gonna win these games in convincing fashion. We got more weapons in the receiving core, so I don't have to do as much. But I'm still gonna do what I got to do. Got to keep him there. At number 3, I got my guy DJ Evans, man. This kid is just a beast. Like, he just makes, like, if you really watch this guy's highlights from last year to this year, the physical catches that he's able to make are tremendous. Like, when he's one-on-one with guys, he's not the biggest guy, but he's just outpowering guys. Like, he's just out-gaming guys. He's just out-jumping guys. He's just out-balling guys. And I just, you can't overlook him for too long. Yeah, And he's doing this with Akira Atamo as quarterback, by the way, guys. Like he's doing this with Akira Atamo. He's doing this with a Baltimore playbook, that we had read option in. And, I just gotta, I gotta show him his love, gotta give him his flowers. 31
want to see, and if
good.
you want to see what his two two plays that kind of say of who he is as a player is the OU game from last year.
Absolutely.
When they were down 6-13 and he caught the one hand or a set to go tie.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's big moments.
In the OSU game, the touchdown in the OSU game
exactly
that they just had, where he just brushes that guy
off. Exactly. That's what I'm speaking about. That big playability. And I got something. Since this guy Devontae Moore he wants attention, I got him. I'm gonna give him the attention right now, y'all. Hold on, I'm about to shine the light on him and put him on blast. One, you said that you should have been in the top 5 user quarterback list. No way. No way. I gave you your credit and said that you should come back to UCLA and you've been doing some things.
No. That is Devontae Moore is the defensive end for West Virginia. That was a troll comment. You were thinking of Devin Diggs.
I'm about to say that. Oh yeah, Devin Diggs. Oh yeah, my bad. My bad. But hold on, he's back again to say that Trey Durain should be here. Can't do it, bro. Can't do it. I like Trey. Trey's a cool guy. I even brought him on the show. But where are you putting him above any of these guys? And I didn't even finished getting through the list and explaining why I got these guys here. But one, I'm telling you right now, he's not better than Sharp. No matter what he does this year, no matter what, he's not better than Sharp. He's not better than Caleb Houston. No matter what he does this year, he didn't do enough last year. Did you watch Trey Durain last year? Go watch him again before you, come comment and things like that. DJ, not better than DJ Evans.
Stats don't always tell the whole.
Stats don't tell the whole story. His team throws 50 times a game, bro. Like DJ Evans' numbers are close to his, and he has Akira Atamo at quarterback, and Akira doesn't throw 50 times a game, bro. So like, come on, bro. Like, and they got True Bronze, and they got that defense. Like, come on, bro. It's like I cannot put that guy. I cannot put Trey Durain. I like Trey a lot, but I would
put him over 6 on this list. Like I would put him 6 or 7. Like he's up there. Yeah,
I don't know if he's better than Honcho. Like him and Honcho is still like
he's having a big
tough,
year too.
So yeah, I love Trey, man. But Trey, I had to give you some heat because this guy was calling for it though, man. But shout out to my guy Trey. Not to take nothing away from him, but yeah, man. Sorry, man. I had to shine a light on him for a minute. But back to it. DeAndre Campbell, 38 receptions, 613 yards, 16.13 yards per catch, 4 touchdowns. I know the guy talks. I know the guy's a personality.
He's fun to watch. Comparison for him.
He's fun to watch.
Do you know who he reminds me of?
Sure. Let me see. You saying play style wise or personality wise?
His personality wise. And he might get mad at me for this.
Personality. Who you gonna say?
Antonio
Brown. Absolutely. That's a great take. That's a great take.
Style to him that I'm starting to notice. He's like Mr. Big Chest. That's who he is.
Definitely. Antonio Brown. No, absolutely. He got that same. He definitely cut from that same cloth. Yes. Absolutely cut from that same cloth. That attitude, that swagger, that confidence. But I think I understand. I think Flame Campbell. The reason why
he's a beast.
I think he's a beast, and he's a fun-spirited competitor. Like, he's not salty when you guys are talking trash back to him. He's not salty when he has a bad game. He'd be right back at it, and that's why I love the kid. Like, I love the kid's productivity on the field. I love his activity off the field, and I love his confidence, man. And he does it in a fun way. He's not targeting nobody. He's not trying to, make nobody feel down. He's just confident in himself, and I love the kid game. I see, once again, here we go, Freddie Irvin. Freddie Irvin's not better than anybody on this list, man. I'm sorry. Like, he's not, like, you guys didn't play nobody, dude. Like, how is Freddie Irvin better than these guys because of numbers when you guys didn't play anybody, bro? These guys had better film than Freddie Irvin last year. Bro, Shark, Caleb, DJ Evans, and Amari all have better film and are better than Freddie Irvin this year and last year. Like, You guys got to stop doing the homeboy stuff and stop doing the teammate stuff, man. We can't go for that, man. Like, be real. You telling me right now that Freddie Irvin is better than any of these guys on this list? You're drunk. Sorry. But, back to DeAndre Campbell, man. This kid is electric. Definitely can't hate on the kid. I just love seeing him compete, love hearing him compete. He's just he just got that it factor as a receiver, man. He's a little young too,
And he
so
does, yeah.
yeah, he got that it factor. I think he can definitely do some things. And Freddie Irvin's not better than Pecan, man. Pecan is a slot receiver. He's not better than them. So Freddie still got some work to do. You guys got to play somebody first, please, before you saying that.
And then we got our boy Jettas.
Now I got my boy Jettas, man. It was even tough for me to put Jettas behind Campbell, but just something about Campbell. Campbell just had the it factor, man. That was just what it came down to with me, as far as like picking between him and Amari. It's just like something about like Amari's good and Amari's active. Amari is just good, but
you have to watch what happened
Campbell
in that Wisconsin game too. Like when Shark went out, that's probably the one concern that I would say is
Jettas slowed
Amari
down,
a
yeah.
true
Wide receiver
number one?
I don't think so.
That is the question that
I
a
don't
lot of
think
guys
so.
are gonna have to ask.
I don't think he's a true number one. I think on the next level, he's a serviceable 2 elite slot. Serviceable 2 elite slot for Jettas because he has the nice size, the terrific speed, great hands. But he doesn't have the it factor that Caleb Houston, DJ Evans, Sharkley, and Campbell has to me, as far as what I'm seeing right now. And I just can't put him above those guys because he has an it factor, but he doesn't have the it factor that these guys have.
But he's a great player.
But he's a great player. Yeah, he's a great player. Mari is nice. He got the burners, he got the hands, but he needs another wide receiver on the other side. I think he needs a good receiving core. I don't think that he is. Yeah, he just doesn't have it as far as over these guys right now.
And I just hope that guys know, like, we are all going to have knocks. Like, I am not fast. I'm not the fastest guy out of our whole entire class. But, like, there are things that we see. And when you watch the Wisconsin game, we all saw how big it was of Shark not being on that field for the Horned Frogs. And, yeah, Aaron can tell.
Aaron can tell you.
And
I didn't.
Until Shark came back.
That's crazy because Cheek, Coach Bull out here, he pointed out after the game that Sharkley had got injured, and while we was watching the game, while I was doing my thing, I was being so close, I didn't even notice that Sharkley wasn't in the game till he came back and was just the only option on the field.
That's the it factor.
You felt that difference when Shark was back on the field.
That's it. That's the it factor that I mean right there. It's like when Shark is not on the field, you see the difference. When he comes on the field, you see the difference. He took over the game and won that game, much like a Hodge. That's why you see the it factor in Hodge. Caleb Houston, we done seen him take a drag 80 yards. That's unheard of. DJ Evans, we done seen the team struggling in the passing game, nowhere to go. Just throw it up to him. He just ties the game.
Whole game.
Changes like just game breaking moments from these guys. DeAndre Campbell came in the league with the game breaking stuff. He came in the league going crazy, and we just like, whoa, like this kid was talking, and he's really like to do that in the wide receiver position is a challenge, bro. Because there's so many things that you already can't you can't control in sim, and then being not even wide receiver 1 on your team in simulation, and then talking that confident and backing it up. Got to give it to Flame, man. He just got the it factor. Can't hate on him. And yeah, man. But shout out to Amari because Amari's still good and he's going to be a great receiver on the pro level. He's going to be a great receiver on the pro level.
Isn't he like number 1? I know he's top 3 relos wise, ain't he?
Relos, like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
he has so much room to grow.
So when you draft him, that guy's stats is going to be unreal. So
absolutely. Shout out to J Reed Gaming, man. Thank you for stopping by. If you guys haven't already, definitely hit that like button. I appreciate you. We 20 viewers strong and we 2 hours and 30 minutes in, man. Appreciate the love. Thank you guys for pulling up, man. We still rocking though. We definitely gonna still keep it coming. Let me know what you guys think about this list. Let me know what you guys think about all of the list, the QB, the running back, and the halfback. Let me know what you guys think. Give me you guys hot takes, and I'm gonna get some of those up here. Trey,
I'll say definitely let me know what you think about the quarterback list.
let Aaron know.
Aaron wants to know.
Let Aaron know. Does he deserve the number 4 spot? Let's go back to that real quick. Does Aaron deserve the number 4 spot at QB? Hold on. Does he deserve that number 4 spot? Who do y'all have ahead of him?
I think if Wisconsin can hit that top 15, it might be draft time.
Definitely. And then here we go. We getting some Sharkley definitely wide receiver 1. Wide receiver class is deep. Definitely deep. AMAC says I agree. The top 4 are game changers. DJ is game changers. DJ is we need a shot in the dark. Throw it up. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what he is.
Absolutely. That's exactly what he is. You need a shot in the dark. You need that guy to make a play. It's one-on-one. DJ Evans is exposing you one-on-one. I'm telling you right now.
I have a hot take.
My guy, Kaishawn Williams. He putting the odds. Kaishawn, man, these guys, you got some work to do. You getting up there, but you got some work to do, man. These guys are a little different, man. These guys, you close, but these guys are a little different. And what you were saying on Pecan?
I do have a take that I know, of course, I'm gonna sound biased, but Caleb still has a shot at being drafted first.
Oh yeah. No.
Caleb
That's not even being biased. That's realistic. Caleb still has a shot.
Because I know everyone wants to crown, but let's not forget what he did in CS3. And okay, like don't look at the yards. We just had a bye week.
Exactly.
So
no. You're right.
What can we do?
Not biased at all.
But he's still producing and all of that. So, but he's still in contention for that number 1 pick. Do not sleep on my boy.
Absolutely. Big shout out to my guy Caleb Houston, man, because he's definitely a dog, man. Definitely one of them ones. So you definitely can't sleep on him. But let me know what you guys think about the list, man. That's actually the last slide we got. That was the last little topic because I wanted to mix in to chop it up. So we could just chop it up right now and we could go back and forth to the rankings, the standings. Y'all let me know what y'all want to see. And just drop your questions, drop your hot takes, drop everything in there. Anything you want to talk about RFL college series related, just drop it in here, and we're gonna chop it up. We're gonna talk some rankings. We could do some more QB halfback. We could do top 25. Let me know. Just let's chop it up, guys. Tight ends.
That top 25 list.
Okay, so tight ends.
He just wants to hear his boy Gar.
Tight ends. I'm gonna be real. If we're gonna go for tight ends, I gotta say that tight end 1 is Glenn Sharp still.
Glenn Sharp is a monster.
Watch
that USC game against us, and and Williams were putting in some work on us. But Glenn Sharp is the real deal. I really like his play. Yeah. Another guy too, the TCU guy, Payne Cash is great.
Oh yeah, no, Payne Cash is a beast for sure. Payne Cash is definitely a beast.
He had the game-winning touchdown against Georgia, I believe. That was him who caught the game winner. And then I think he's really good. Let's see, I'm forgetting. And I know he wants to hear him, but yes, Jacob Garcia.
Jacob Garcia is good. I like McKinley Weeks as well. I like McKinley Weeks. I like who else? I like Joker. I like Josh Jeffries. I'm just spewing out, guys. I'm not giving no order. I actually didn't do the tight ends. I'll save that for another week. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do these every week because a lot of things ain't gonna change. I like to give it space. 2 to 3 weeks time. So maybe on the next show we'll do tight ends and we'll do linemen and we'll mix it up. But
I would say though, go on. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. You good? No, you good. Go ahead.
One more guy that I want to throw in there that I don't think is getting a lot of love, and I talked to Darius about this, and even though Miami is literally still Hodge, there was one guy in that Clemson game, and he's for a few games now has had some clutch catches.
Javier King.
If he had some speed to him,
Javier King, yes, sir. If
Javier King had some speed to him,
yes, sir.
I would honestly think he might be one of the best tight ends in this whole entire series.
Absolutely.
He catches, so he's almost like a Jason Wynn. He's just not fast, but he runs great routes and he catches the ball and he gets the first down every time. 3rd and 12, throw it to King.
For sure. King has been playing terrific. He's definitely been a safety blanket for KP. KP can be conservative at times or a little shaky, but I think Javier King has definitely been making things a lot easier on him. And here we go, Javier. Once again, plus tight ends don't get enough love in this league. Who told you that? Did you not watch the last RFL series? Did you not see all of the rookie tight ends going off? Did you not see Anthony Fry? Do you not know Buck Aldridge? Do you not know Ronnie Cam? Do you not know I'm missing the best guy right now. come on, bro. Like, it's no way. Dexter Roy, like, are you serious? Like, what do you mean tight ends don't get love in the RFL? You gotta
And
watch,
there's
man.
still so many more
You gotta
too
watch. Yeah, so many
that
more.
we
That's
haven't talked
crazy.
about.
Yeah.
Roy Merdrano, is that his name?
Roy Madrano at
That guy's
Clemson.
a
That guy's a
beast.
beast. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what he's talking about. Dietrich out of Tyler Dietrich from the Sentinels. He just went off last year in the RFL Pro Series. It was just a lot of. That's what I'm saying. There's so many guys. Like sometimes yeah. Oh, well, in this series, they still get love. Did you not see me highlight Glenn Sharp? We name it Roy Madrano, Josh Jeffries, Chandler Back, tight end of the year last year. His team's undefeated. He's still playing terrific. Javier King.
They may not get talked about compared to like all of the other guys, but they still get their love. Everyone knows who the top tight ends are.
Tight ends are, yeah. Like, and I know if you guys are reaching to hear CS3 guys, I'm sorry. If you guys are reaching to hear CS4 guys, I'm sorry. You guys are still getting grouped with CS3. So I'm not gonna just talk about CS4 for no reason just to compare CS4. No, you guys playing with CS3, so you have to get compared with them. If you want to be spoken about, you better do what Glenn Sharp did. Glenn Sharp is from CS4, but he's tight end 1. So that's why he's talked about the way he is. I'm not going to talk about a guy that's playing on a team that didn't play anybody yet, that's been doing fairly decent, but he is not doing, he hasn't played anybody one. He's not doing better than the guys who I have a whole year of film on. You know what I'm saying? Like Chandler Back, like Glenn Sharp came this year and just took off. Josh Jeffries is still very serviceable. Roy Madrano, a beast. Like, you know what I'm saying? So some guys you gotta watch other guys, man. I gotta watch other guys and really pay attention. Put yourself in the coach's shoes, even if coaches aren't talking about all these guys all the time, some guys want to stash guys. Some guys don't want to bring too much attention around their guys. But just know we're watching everything statistically, and the attributes is gonna be right on these guys. So I'm pretty sure when the draft comes, you're gonna see a lot of this pan out. And guys who you think weren't talked about are still going to be serviceable and decent on the next level, or they're going to come back next year and they're going to have to prove themselves and give us a reason to talk about them. Remember, there's 32 colleges. If you play for a back-end team and you're not doing anything spectacular, you shouldn't want to be talked about. If your team is 20 to 25 or your team is 15 to 25 and they're dead smack in the middle, losing games, winning games, and you're not like the main guy, or you're not doing anything really game changing, why do you want guys to talk about you? Get your game up, get your reloads up, get your activity up, and then show us something. We're not gonna just be talking about guys that aren't doing anything or just want to be talked about because like we're a user league. No, like you have to put in work. You have to put in the work. Oh yeah, Lewis Happ is another guy too. Lewis Happ is low key been doing this thing too. So
I think he's a
he isn't a user though. In fact, he isn't a user. But
we're only, and just so folks know, we are mainly talking users like guys who are users.
Absolutely. So if there's anything left in the chop it up segment, man, let me know. We almost 3 hours strong. I don't be trying to push you guys to 3 hours, but man, the RFL talk just amazing. Like I love talking to you guys because a lot of you guys are very knowledgeable about this league. A lot of you guys put in a lot of time with this league, watching these storylines and everything play out. So it's always just fun for me to come on here and talk to you guys. Pecan, it was great having you. It's always great having you. Thank you so much, man.
Seriously.
Appreciate you. I could do this and talk RFL with you all day, man. Like it's just a lot of guys in this league that I could just really talk RFL with all day, and I really love talking RFL sports with all day. You're definitely one of them, man. So
thank you. You as well, man. This is so much fun, and I'm enjoying it because I've always told guys, like, I watch the league. Get me on your show. I watch the league. In the real world, we have Ohio State guys all in the meet. I'm here. Come on. So,
Gunner's mini camp is, Gunner's mini camp is going to start after I get my rookies, man. I got to get my rookies before camp will start. Because we definitely we're definitely doing some testing right now. And we're definitely doing some testing on Madden 23. It's looking amazing. We're looking sharp. We're still looking like we're going to put up a ton of points. However, I think I want to do some. I think I want to switch some things up on defense. I think I want to add some more depth on defense, some young talent. And with me saying that, as a guy I'm interested in right here, I need to know if you're active, man. I'm seeing you. I be seeing you in these in the podcast, but I don't really see you too much in the Discord. Is this Jay Reed, the DT or the defensive end out of Alabama, right?
Yeah, Bama.
Yeah, I want to know, yo, bro, are you gonna be active? If you're still here, how active are you? Are you stacking your reloads? And do you need help, figuring out a way to be more active? Because you're a guy that I think a lot of coaches are very interested in, but we just want to see more activity on you. We don't want to waste picks on guys that's just going to be MIA and can't develop themselves. And you're one of those guys I think that scare coaches in that regard. So I'm letting you know right now, coaches are interested in you, but you are scaring them with the sporadic, activity in the Discord. Not saying that you have to be super active, but just let us know something. Are you, committed to this league? How committed? Okay, cool. You're in the military. Okay, cool. No problem, man. You serving the country.
Yeah,
Salute to
then
you.
that makes a little
I
bit difference.
appreciate you. Yeah, that's a big difference, So I definitely, appreciate you for your service, man. I appreciate you for even taking the time for the league while you got that on your mind and while you moving around in the military. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, put you on blast like that, but I'm letting you know, guys are interested in you, man. We just want to see how active you're gonna be.
He is here more than Cage. Let's just
Now he is. He's absolutely here more.
Let's just put it like that. He's more active than Cage. So
absolutely. And I appreciate you, Daniel Severio. Yo, Severio, I sent you the link, man. I was trying to get you in here. Did you not get the link? I sent it to you in the Discord. I was trying to get you on here. I don't know if you had to work or whatever, but I tried to definitely get you in here. But
you know what would be fun though if he came for next week, because I imagine you'll probably do the defensive guys.
Yes,
next week. Exactly. That would be a good.
I'm definitely going to do the defensive guys next week. So Severio, if you're free, I'm definitely going to if you're free, I'm definitely going to have you come and talk the top defensive guys with me next week. Pecan, honestly, if you're free as well, though, I would still love to have you come on as well. ESJ, I definitely want to get on here talk about some of these college defensive guys if he's here. Also, CP, I want to get CP back on here as well. Got to hit him up. I know he's probably been busy with some things, but definitely want to get CP back on here to talk them defensive guys with me. But
and one thing I will add, if I can't next week, AR, watch some tape on my boy Eric.
I got you.
Eric Hogan, number 4 at Ohio State. Watch some tape on him.
I got you. Eric Hogan, I got you. I'm definitely going to keep him circled on the list, but appreciate you guys, man, for coming through and chopping it up with us.
AR, seriously, man.
Yo, Pecan, I appreciate you, man, because it was super fun for me, man. Aaron, appreciate you for your time. You my cousin, man, so I ain't about to talk to you like you some other guy, man. Thank you for coming. You better have came, or I was going to come to your house and we was going to have problems, man. But,
sorry.
Aaron, see you in week 11, man.
Yeah, so appreciate you guys, man. My guy Glenn Sharp said, I definitely enjoy I'll definitely join your podcast, Moolah 100. So yeah, Glenn Sharp, I definitely want to get you in here as well, man. Next time we talking about some offensive topics. When I do the tight ends list, definitely gotta have tight end 1 on there, man. Hopefully you're still tight end 1 by that day, because wouldn't it suck for you to go down as far as the tight end rankings as soon as you get on the show? But I don't think that'll happen. I'm just playing, poking fun at you. But thank you guys for all popping out, man. Definitely leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, man. If you guys want to chop it up some more, I got you. We could definitely do that for 5 more minutes, but we're about to run it for 3 hours.
Get some food.
We're about to run for 3 hours. I'm hungry as well, man. I got some
hit the notification bell.
Yeah.
So yeah, hit that notification bell as well, man, because I'm gonna be dropping some more content, man. I got a lot of content that I want to be creative and bring to this channel. RFL based, Madden based. I will be doing some Madden things on here, some rebuilds, some live rebuilds. So I'll be doing some live Madden 23 rebuilds with you guys, just like like maybe just straight simulation, but I do want to continue on with some as well. Like I want to do some week-to-week ones. So what I'm going to do is actually live stream the week-to-week ones and then chop up the video as well to like give you guys like the authentic, like rebuild experience where it's like, edited, but I also want to live stream the process as well. So you can see the behind the scenes and my thought process through a lot of things and not just the edited version. So stay tuned for that. I got a lot coming this channel, RFL wise, non-RFL, just Madden based. Thank you guys for pulling up. I always appreciate your time, man. Man, my guy Severio saying I'm gonna call a lot of work for that interview, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate your time. I love that you guys come and show love and support every time I do something as far as this podcasting. I love that you guys want to come on the show and hit me up to come on the show. Sorry if I didn't bring you on this week. It's just that like I try to be strategic in who I have and how I'm having them. You know what I'm saying? Like I want it to be more of a, like I said, locker room feel. I want to talk about each locker room player lounge feel. I want to talk about each topic with you guys, and I want to bring on guys that know about the topics, that I kind of watch the league, because I don't want you just here listening to me talk, about different topics. And if I feel like, I'm going to dive into player specific topics and I don't think like, really know about those players, then I'll probably, wait to have you on a show where I could just gear the show towards you, interviewing you and talking to you. So if I didn't let you on the show this week, it wasn't a knock. It wasn't nothing personal. I'm definitely going to have you on the show when I can. But, I'm just working through some things. So once again, appreciate you guys for stopping by. I'm out of here. It's your boy, Coach AR, with my guy, Pecan, with my guy, Aaron, man. And it's been fun, man. It's been really fun. And appreciate you guys once again for stopping by, man. Drop a like if you haven't already. Drop a like on your way out. Drop a comment for me. And just tell guys to get in tune with the Relocation Football League. Tell guys to get in tune with the Houston Gunners. Look us up on Instagram at RFL Gunners. At RFL Gunners on Twitter as well. At Relocation Football League on Twitter and Instagram or YouTube, man. Here you go, Pecan with his national championship hat. I'm about to just get out of here, man. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see
Contraband.
that bad energy, man. That contraband. They took us out.
Go Bucks.
Way to end the show, man. Appreciate you guys. Peace. It's your boy, Coach Moolah, man. Definitely have fun with you guys, man. And always league first. Can I get a hashtag league first on your way out? I'm about to end it, but can I get a hashtag league first in the live chat before you make your way out? We still 16 viewers strong with 2 hours and 45 minutes in, man. I appreciate the love. Thank you guys so much. But we out of here.